You know what's funny about this time and day and generalities and in space is that I'm used to bands breaking up, right? Like bands that I like or rap groups that I like or R&B groups that I like breaking up. I mean, I remember when New Edition broke up. You know, I've been experiencing this my entire life.
Tragic lives, Bob.
Yeah, it's very sad. Don't worry. Don't pray for me, though. But like what I think is funny is that I've also experienced some TV shows. I remember when they replaced somebody on Married with Children. Was it the neighbor's husband?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jefferson.
Yeah.
But it was a different character.
Why do you?
Hello?
Yeah. Why are you
It was
not
working
right?
before.
Yeah, it was.
Try now.
Hold on. Hello? Yeah. What? Yes.
There you.
No?
Yeah.
Yes, now. Yeah.
So I've experienced.
But it was a different character.
It wasn't
like Aunt Vivian, who was like the same character but different person.
But there's another example though, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've experienced all these things, but like I'm now at a point where I have experienced kind of my first major podcast breakup.
Oh.
Like we're like a podcast that I listen to with a group of guys is like officially like they are all split up.
Really?
Yeah.
No salvaging what's left.
No salvaging what's left.
Oh, and on bad notes?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. See,
bad
well,
times.
I mean, it's like it's hard to tell because some of the people have a dramatic flair to them that like you don't quite know. You know what I mean? But then I was thinking about it. I was like, fuck, man. I was like, I probably provided that same experience for people with Shattered Cast or when Adam left or
Right.
you know what I mean? Like it's probably. While it's new to me, it's not new to some of the people that listen to my podcast.
What podcast? What
How many podcasts
podcast
have
are
you
you
broken?
talking about?
Joe Budden podcast.
Okay, I figured that's what it was. I'm not in the loop. So
I mean, you
Yeah.
just need him. It's his name on it.
Yeah, but the other guys were they did offer, especially this one guy offered a pretty funny take on a lot of things. But I will say that they did. It was funny because listening to it, I relate to so much of like the behind the scenes talk of like issues, right?
yeah.
So like you know, like he was saying how because like it is like and there's a conversation here. Maybe we should just bring this in now. Maybe this should be the whole introduction because I told you last week that somebody that we both know, and I'll show you that. I just don't know if he wants his name out there for the sake of the conversation. Hit me up and had and gave me like a little like a nugget of personal insight into his podcasting experience, and I was like, "Fuck, man, that is kind of true." But listening to them, I'm like, fuck, dude, they're going through some of the same shit that I've gone through, you know? And like,
Except there's money involved.
yeah.
Which adds a whole nother layer to
A
that
whole
Shrek
nother
flavored onion.
There's money here.
Super complicated layer.
There's money
Super
here.
complicated layer.
What in coffee? And Phil leaving me soda?
Yeah. Poor Phil, he's the one that works the most for free.
Yeah. And brings the food also.
Yeah, exactly.
Yo, Phil, those s'mores Oreos, it's not good. It's off
Dude,
track.
I ate an entire pack in one sitting.
I don't think they taste like s'mores. They just taste like...
No. They don't taste like s'mores.
Okay,
They taste like great Oreos.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
But it was not the flavor.
Does banana flavor ever taste
okay.
like bananas? Never.
That's a whole nother story.
Yes.
So
Anyway.
but I'll also say that fucking Oreo cheesecake, no whore. It's no whore. She needs to be taken out to a fine restaurant. She needs
You like it?
Oh my
Which
god!
one do you have?
Just the Oreo one.
Just a regular Oreo one?
Yeah, the cookies and cream, I guess is the what.
Yeah, because that was that 3 different flavors.
Yeah, and I mean I could only eat so many, but I had that one, and like I need to have more. I need to have more of those.
There's like 6 more.
No, of that one specifically
Yeah,
though.
there's
I
6
can't co-sign the other ones quite yet.
Yeah.
I'm going to try another one today.
So podcast breaking up.
Podcast breaking up. So like some of the things they were talking about on there was like you know, so like they got, I mean, they were like at one point they were like number 31 podcast period.
Really?
Like of all
Which
the
doesn't
podcasts.
sound like a great number, but it's
yeah, because
it's like-
thousands are being made like every day.
What number
but
are
it is
we?
a good number.
I haven't looked. I don't want to.
But like,
I'm just wondering how they quantify that. Is that
I'm
just
sure
on Spotify?
I'm no. It was across the board, total streams, but I'm sure they only did like top 50. Do you know what I mean?
because if you say number it's top 31 to somebody, they'd be like, "Oh, that's it."
Yeah.
but like, no, there's like a million podcasts out
Yeah,
there.
a million and more.
Top 31 is great.
There might have been a million made today.
yeah,
You know?
and stopped today.
Yeah. Also true. So, so listening to him talk and like he was like, you know, there'd be times where he'd be like, look, you know, he would like get up with guys and be like, look, we should dig into this next week. Or we should dig into this next week. And like some of the feedback he was getting, not that I've ever experienced this, but that some of the feedback he was getting was like, oh, we're number one. We're number one. Like, you know, we're like, who cares? Like we're number one. And then like he started noticing like, you know, topics would come up and he would bring up to like try to get engaged in a conversation, and they didn't really want to engage in a conversation, and he was like, well, okay, we're number one now, but if we don't keep engaging in the conversations, we're not going to be number one, and like. He made an interesting comparison, and I think he's mostly at fault for most of it. To be fair, also, but
I mean,
he's a train wreck.
Historically,
His
seems
whole
like
life
a
is
very
a fucking train wreck.
difficult person to be around.
Every fucking relationship he gets in, he destroys. That being said, like he was like everybody everybody was good when the numbers were like if you have a sports team and you start winning every game. And the practices start slacking, and you're still winning. You don't give a fuck about practice anymore,
Right? Allen Iverson,
right?
We're talking about practice.
We're not talking about the game. Not where we put our heart.
I'm
and soul.
supposed to be the franchise player, and we here talking about practice.
I know it's funny.
Not a game.
It's funny
Not
to
a
me.
game.
It's funny to me too.
Practice.
That shit.
That's my favorite line. You ever heard Morgan Freeman? The guy do the Morgan Freeman impression of it.
Yes,
It's
yes.
fucking phenomenal.
Frank,
I know it's funny.
Caliano. Yeah.
It's funny to me too. But anyway, we're talking about practice, man. But he was like, and then when you start losing a game or two, and now nobody wants to practice anymore, and like I was like, fuck, man, like it is interesting. But he was also saying how like, one of these guys lived with him, and another guy he kind of met through the industry, but and they stopped kind of communicating as much once the success of the podcast took off, right? So, I mean, I know those vibes. Speaking of which, Robert, real quick, put my face, animated my face.
The computer animation is getting too easy, too good.
I don't even want to know how that technology exists. Well, look, I'll be honest with you. I purposefully don't mention things or ask questions in our group chat because I don't want to ruin it. I know you've got some. I'm imagining some at least interesting stories from going to the event.
Yeah.
I wanted to say, hey, I was a wedding, but then I was like,
That's why I didn't ask.
I don't want to ask.
I waited until today before the show.
It's almost like,
did you have fun? That's all I asked.
I consider you guys to be, my really good friends, but honestly, thinking about it from 1,000 feet, it's like you might be better off doing a podcast with people you don't like. You're not friends with, like you don't know.
At the same time, though, you can never have the chemistry.
You can't have that connection. Yeah. So it's damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Because like our group chat for sure, like before we podcast more and regular, and the three of us together, like that group chat text was definitely more things going on in there.
Correct.
Now it's like more service level stuff.
Yeah.
Until we get here.
Yeah, it's like news. It's like, you know what I mean? Not nerd news, like news with us. That's like it's usually shit that we're doing.
Yeah, exactly. Like
nothing
or a
to
converse about.
Or a joke.
Yeah.
Or like mayonnaise backpack.
Dude, I'm so sad. Rip mayonnaise, bro.
So that's the person that sent it to me.
Okay.
And I don't want to. He said, but he's listening to the last NRR. He said you'd call your dad the next time, and you're not listening to watch or something. He said which it's funny because he's talking about that conversation I had about my father, where like I only will call him now if I really don't have anything else to talk about because I don't have anything unless I have something to share.
Right.
Sure.
And he was like, he said, so he hardly ever calls people either, hardly ever texts. It's because I'm always listening or watching something to him. And he says, also due to podcasting and regular online meetups, I don't reach out to people I talk to regularly because I already have time scheduled to talk to these people. So for everyone else, I don't engage during those scheduled times because I don't talk to them unless I'm seeing them in person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it is like, it is interesting like to think about like the effects of this specific platform because it is based entirely on communication, and when you already know like we are sitting down to communicate for 2 to 3 hours, it does perhaps like make you suffer a bit on the back end of the relationships, or has the potential to. But I think that's why, and I wish we would have started it earlier. But I think that's why, and we have one coming up very soon. But that's why, like the dinners are like a good, because it's like no work, no bonus footage, no bonus pod, just hanging out, just talking about regular shit, seeing the kids play together, whatever the case may be.
My cats.
You have a kid's birthday today?
Yeah. Yep. Kenny's birthday's today.
Happy birthday, Kennedy.
She's 13.
Oh, congratulations!
I have 2 teenagers in my house right now.
Nice.
Well, one teenager, and one adult.
Yeah, but still a teenager. So
yeah, but like But so anyway, I just like if I haven't always been cognizant, I think the events of the last year and a half, specifically between Adam, specifically with us dealing with this format when we had to do it remotely,
Right.
A few months.
Yep. Yeah. Me having that lack of connection to people in general during the last year and a half, it has made me like, I think his little text that he may not know, but it meant a lot to me when he sent it, just not from him to me that it meant a lot to me, but just his words meant a lot to me, because I was like, fuck, I know the feeling there. And I'm trying to do better. Like, I'm trying to take time out to check on people, just not like how but I mean, like, literally, what's up? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I talked to a buddy of mine yesterday that I haven't spoken to in probably years, and like really close friend of mine, but like we haven't been tight since this shit started popping off. And I think it's because like he didn't get it. You know what I mean? Like he just was like, I don't know what this is all about. It's getting out of control.
Yeah.
But like we talked and like, just catching up on like he's a fucking grandfather now, and you know what I mean? Just wild shit,
Wow.
But taking that time to do it, and it's hard for me. It's hard for me to set aside the time. I also don't want to ever feel like, because I know my time is valuable, I never want to feel like I'm taking away somebody's time.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's just something that's been coming to light with me recently, and I tie that back to also kind of going through my first podcast breakup. As a fan, where I'm like, I don't know which one to listen to now. I don't know who to like, you know what I mean? Like, like you kind of feel like I don't know why I do that also. With like entertainment shit that I'm into, like if there's a issue, I'll pick a side.
It's hard. It's hard.
Human nature to just pick a side.
You think so? Even if I'm a fan of all these three, 6 months ago. And now I feel like, well, no, I'm either with them or I'm with them. You know what I mean? Like,
It's weird because, like, I don't watch sports, right? But if I were to sit down, I know nothing about sports.
Right.
Even when I was in Japan, we watched flyball for funsies because it was in the middle of the night. But I immediately picked the side.
Well, if you're going to watch one, not for nothing.
I immediately picked the side, and I started rooting for them for no reason. Yeah. And then I was, like, invested in that one side winning. Arbitrarily. I don't know why.
Yeah.
So, like, I think it's human nature to pick a side.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think it's perhaps easier to do when you're walking into something completely objectively. You know what I mean? When you're like, you don't have a connection to either. Mm-hmm. But like, I have a connection to like these.
Well, that's why it makes more sense that you have even more of an agency to pick a side because you care. If you randomly pick a side when you don't care, when you do care, you must have the need to pick a side.
Well, if everybody ends up with their own podcast, I guess you have 6 hours a week instead of 2 or whatever. So.
right. Well, and I mean, like how often?
It's not the same though. It's the same people, but not the same.
Yeah,
podcast.
no, it's not going to be the same. It's, the chemistry is going to be different.
Yeah.
How often do you talk to like the Realm folks, like outside of the Realm?
Like the guys I'm on the show with on Mondays.
Yeah.
I normally kind of the same thing. I mean.
Yeah.
It's rare we talk. I mean, we have a group chat and we bullshit and whatnot, but like, hey, what's up? How you doing? Be pretty few and far between to reach out.
Yeah, there's something there. Like, because I'll tell you, like, and there's been some changes in both of their lives as well. But like ever since I started doing dummies with Jisk and Robert, I talk to Jisk and Robert less. Mm-hmm. Like I've just noticed it. Like it's. Like, and once again, group chat, bullshit, blah, 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 but, like, really check in with somebody, like, what's going on.
Because you're already scheduled to, so you don't...
Right.
There's no need to, like, I better check on him. It's like, no, I'm definitely going to check on him next week because we're going to talk.
Yeah, just used to call you, like, it seemed like almost every week when we were recording.
Yeah.
And depending on how long you're making content for, like, your quantity of interaction might go up. Because, like, we sit here and talk 3 hours a week, right? By a lot of times. Mm-hmm. So
whether it's all recorded, it's 3 hours.
Right. If we take this away, the podcast, and we just chat normally without having to refrain, I don't think it'll make up 3 hours of conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, you might be right
and not
there.
as meaningful.
And, dude, and sometimes that might not be the best, right? Because I tied that to Adam. Like, I don't think it was for who he... So, like, you spend almost every waking moment with a person, right? Mm-hmm. We're setting off this pot very heavy, by the way. But, like,
there you go.
I'm gonna put one on my fucking nose so I can just like, You know, it's funny. One time, side note, I'll interrupt myself.
Wow, this is meta nerd rage, bro.
But like,
let me interrupt myself.
You know, one time Laura and I were having like a deep conversation. This is like years ago, but it's kind of resurfaced a bit recently, which is funny. But we were talking about like things that we do that one another does that like, you know, gets them. You know, like we've been together since we were 15. Yeah. You know, it's hard to keep the flame at a full blown torch. You know, it never extinguishes, but sometimes we're at a candle. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
Sometimes we're at a flamethrower.
Yeah.
You know, so like I was like, well, what? You know, I'm like, oh man, like when you put yourself together, like when you're not wearing the mom uniform, you know, so to speak, and you go out like, I mean, this wedding we went to, like the heels, like just fucking ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like her calf muscle was flexed for like 8 hours. You know, so like, and not that I'm big on the calf muscle. I'm just saying how the leg looked in general, like in the heel.
I mean, that's what heels are for.
So like, anyway, I say that to say this is that like I was like, so all right, so what for you? She was like the way you make people laugh. She's like, and also her, right? Like that's what. And I was like, oh shit, I'm just gonna come down tomorrow morning like with a little horn on my nose. But anyway,
did you say? Am I a clown to you?
Yeah, am I funny? Am I here to amuse you?
Are you not entertained?
Are you? You know what's funny is I sampled that also before Hove.
Oh.
Yeah, that is okay. It's neither here nor there. I'm sure he stole it from me.
Better not let her catch you fucking practicing material again.
Yeah, but like so Adam and I having grown up together and for a number of years before he moved, or maybe it was like 1.5 years, 2 years. We spent, I mean, almost every waking second with one another. You know, like when his parents went to work, they would drop him off and. To my grandma. My grandma was basically babysitting both of us, you know, during the summer or whatever, like at times, and et cetera. So like, then you grow up. We went to different schools, right? And I went to many different schools,
a plethora,
and he went to one different school far away. And I mean, it's like 40 minutes away, but when you're fucking 15, it's like it might have well been. It could have been on the moon.
Yeah.
So like, you know, and then, you know, but you still have the things in common that connect you to another person, right? And you get to see each other, but now you're not. It's not every waking moment anymore. It's these limited moments. So when you have these limited moments, you start concentrating and focusing on these things that have kept you connected, right? Mm-hmm. So then our lives kind of. Level out a bit, right? Like independence and, you know, paying a mortgage and all that kind of shit. Family. And because of that, because of family life, work life, all that, it kind of, you see each other more because you're an adult and you can do whatever the fuck you want. It's awesome. Sometimes I think, I look at my kids and like when they're like, can I have a snack? I'm like, oh, it sucks to be you. I just do what I want. But also they can eat like 16 pancakes and lose 5 pounds. You know what I mean? I can spell pancake out loud and I gain 5. But like so then we're seeing each other more frequently, right? But it's still in small intervals. And now we have these other things in our lives that also, you know, kind of lend themselves to the tie that bonds, right? Whether it be the mortgage or the kids or married life, what have you. And then all of a sudden, you know, it's like you're seeing each other like once every month, once every 2 months, you know what I mean? And you catch up, you know, by the time you catch up, but just what's been going on with your nerd month, you know, it's pretty much time to eat and go the fuck home, right?
Yeah.
And then, bam, 3 hours a week, every week for years.
Yep.
And now you're realizing that the changes that have happened between people over the course of not 3 years, but 20 years.
Like lifetime.
You know, are starting to come up. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, man, like, it puts stress on the relationship.
Because you never get to dig deep. Like, on those meetups, you don't get to dig deep like a 3 hour
You don't have the time.
Yeah, no. Like, and you have you're talking, but you have your wife and your kids are running around. You're like keeping your eye on them. Right. Like, here at the table, it's locked in. It's just us.
Yeah, and then add that onto also your it's a team environment, right? Mm-hmm. So you're all working on something to create something that represents, you know, Nerd Rage collectively, but also everyone individually. And like, it's just like, I think that this. So I say all that to say this. My advice to anyone out there podcasting, from what I have learned and what I think is working here, is that you have to set aside personal time. Mm-hmm. You have to set aside non-work time. It has to be almost penciled in, because otherwise it just becomes work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Otherwise, you lose all the chit chat, and it's just the work, and it's like, you know, I mean, unfortunately, or fortunately for the listeners sometimes, and unfortunately for us sometimes, like this pod will go long.
Yes.
You know, and then like people are like, but like even after this show, we'll still like linger a bit, like talk about the show a little bit, talk about some other shit going on, blah 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 blah, and then sort of disperse.
Yeah.
I remember times when we did this show and the fucking the stop button got hit and everyone was gone.
Yeah, it just left.
You know,
like, we gotta go.
Yeah, like at that point it was an obligation. It was work. So like it's just something that I'm being cognizant of in learning about the process of it, because it's not like you get a fucking rule book to this shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty heavy for a beginning. But
I did look at some of the top podcasts, and it's almost all murder stuff, like true crime dramas
murder stuff.
I mean, then it's like NPR and shit like that.
Yeah, a lot of that.
A lot of politics, and
people have an obsession with death. It's like what did Maynard say? Incredulous at best, your desires to believe in angels in the hearts of men. You know, like it's like this obsession with fucking people doing shit that maybe people have thought or fantasized about, you know, but can't ever fucking do because they're not crazy enough to throw their whole life away.
Yep.
Yeah, there's something to be said about the amount of middle-aged white women that sit and eat popcorn while they're watching. He tore her flesh from her face.
Do you think allergy season is a bad time for cocaine addicts?
I don't know.
Well, if you have allergies, dude, like, just imagine like. We were talking about sneezing.
That's ever since I said it yesterday, it's been stuck in my head where I'm like, shit, if I was a cocaine addict and I felt like Tori Amos, I felt the light sneeze, I would run out of the room. You know, just out of fear.
Or I mean, if you're just like so fucking mucusy, like you snort it and then it just all becomes snot and you don't absorb any of it. That'd be a waste.
Yeah.
You just like take a big whiff and then you like blow your nose and it's just.
And I was also thinking that like
try that bitch out and sniff it again.
Like, you know how like with other drugs you might say, let me smell it. You can't do that with cocaine, can you?
No.
I don't think so.
That's sort of giving it away, isn't it? Anyway, so enough about podcasts and cocaine. How Joe, you got your coffee early? You're fucking me up. Chris, how was your nerd week?
It was busy. We are rearranging our basement since the new walls are up and everything. We got the new area probably 80% where we want it. So it's 3D print station, Kelly's packing station, drying racks for stuff that we have to seal outside. And
it's crazy, man. I'm anxious to see it.
Me too. I look forward to
I'm
next
anxious
Brofest.
to get it to a condition, and then we got to figure out what we're going to do.
You still left a little table for me, right?
No, we just put you on the floor.
Joe prefers all of his tables. I saw his family's photos. They prefers all of his tables to be about the 2-foot height.
Yeah, we'll stack some FOMO for you.
Yeah, that'd be good enough.
That way you don't have FOMO.
Oh, stop it.
Let's see. Where do I start here? Okay, watched a movie that made me not want to eat meat, but then the next day I ate meat and I had forgotten about it. It's called.
Let me guess. On Netflix.
It was on Netflix. It's not, but it's not. It's not a documentary.
Oh, okay.
It's called.
Fair enough.
It's called Okja.
Oh, is it the one with the face?
So
okay, go ahead.
So basically, the concept is they've developed these super pigs. They're like the size of hippos, but they're pigs.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I'm in.
Yeah, and it takes like 10 years for them to mature, and they've given like 25 of them out to people all over the world. And this little girl in Japan, they came to get it after 25 years. You know, she's grown up with this thing, so she it's 10 years. Excuse me, it was 10 years. They got it when she was 4. Her parents had died. She was living with her grandfather, and this was her best friend. And you know, they come to get him, and it shows you the slaughterhouses and shit. And I know it's
Joe Budden, Joel Ortiz.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know. It was an interesting take. It was propaganda at the end of it.
Right.
It's got Tilda Swinton. She's an actress. She's she plays the ancient one.
Oh yes.
Tilda.
Yeah,
Tilda. Yeah, whatever. She directed it, maybe wrote it. I don't know. It's very well done.
She doesn't look like she eat meat.
That's a fact.
It's possible. She plays like the CEO of the company that's developing these, and
Her head kind of looks like an almond if you think about it.
Yeah, she actually plays. She plays two sisters, like twin sisters, and one of them. You guys know how Johnny Depp played Willy Wonka, just very cut and dry, and here it is. This is what it was, kind of like that vibe. It's so off-putting, but it was entertaining.
I think like the people who have the agenda to make people not eat meat don't realize how good meat tastes, or underestimate how much people like meat. Like I've watched all kinds of documentaries. I know how fucked up things are, and I don't like the fact that like industrial farming. None of that will stop me from eating meat.
I also think that they underestimate the other option for proteins.
Oh yeah,
because that's my thing. Is like
good luck.
I'm not a huge meat eater, so to speak. Like I eat a lot of chicken, but I'm not like a big like. I don't know. Like it doesn't fill me up, so to speak. This is getting worse and worse.
That can't have meat for Bobby.
But like it doesn't. Like I can eat like 3 steaks and I'm still fucking starving in 20 minutes. Yeah.
Wow.
Like it doesn't do much for me. So I could give it up.
A lot of protein.
I could give it up in a heartbeat, but I don't know where to get my protein from because the other options are like beans and soy and shit
not
that I don't want. That I don't, and I'm not going to eat it. I'm not going to eat it.
And it's also not all proteins are created equal. Like we talk about proteins as a general thing. Like meat just gives you better protein.
Right.
It's better protein for sure.
And better tasting. Bacon.
We watched the season 2 Love, Death, and Robots.
I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, I didn't even know
that's
it
on
was
my
out.
docket tonight.
Yeah.
Or tomorrow.
Yeah, I didn't think it was nearly as good as the first one. It's still entertaining.
Hate to hear it.
I just need it to be entertaining.
I might give the whole thing another watch because honestly,
it's all short.
it's like I think the longest one of these is like 17 minutes.
Yeah, because I just need it to be look good and be entertaining. But I figured it would be good because it took so long to come out. Because the first season came out 4 years ago, some shit like that.
I don't think it was quite that long. I think it was.
At least 3.
Maybe an 18. I don't know. I will say that there was a couple of these that it's super high res.
Yeah, I saw in the trailer some of the effects were crazy.
Like you had the. Is this real? Is this animated? I mean, and once it
Uncanny
gets
Valley,
to that
bro.
point,
Love it.
well, Michael B. Jordan stars in one of them. Would know. I mean, if you didn't.
Really?
There's just a couple things like the way their mouths move a little strange. But I mean, I guess that's like probably. It's almost like watching cutscenes on YouTube from a video game.
Listen, Pinkerton. My world's coming true soon. We're not going to need actors.
Shut up, Joe.
Shut up, Joe.
So I'm just,
you get me with a dad joke? I'm going to telling you how we don't need fucking actors anymore. We don't need faces.
I'm going to just tell you this dad joke. I'm not even going to try to work this one in. It's so good. Did you know that the game Mortal Kombat is based on a Scandinavian worship song? Yeah, Joe. It's based on a Finnish hymn. A Finnish hymn.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. You know what kind of speaking of songs, you know what kind of songs fish prefer?
PHISH.
Oh, I don't know.
Catchy ones.
Damn.
You like that?
Mm-mm-mm.
You see me.
I watched the season finale of the Mayans, the spinoff to.
Oh yes, the Sons of Anarchy spinoff.
Holy shit! The season's kind of drug for me. I'm like, come on. But the last, holy shit.
It's good.
Yeah, and they've renewed it for another season. Kurt Sutter is no longer involved, other than they like basically fired him as a writer.
Oh really?
From the show, but did
he write Sons of Anarchy?
Yeah. So he did Shield.
Oh okay.
And something else in there too. He did. Dark Side of the Ring this week was about Nick Gage. You guys have never heard of Nick Gage?
Not Nick Cage.
Not Nick Cage. Nick.
Not John Cage.
No. So Nick Gage is a deathmatch guy who
they finish him.
We're working it in. He's a deathmatch guy, and it's an incredible story. He almost died. Like he got hit with a light tube and it sliced like his artery. I mentioned him when I talked about the David Arquette story.
Yes.
This is the guy who wrestled David Arquette.
Okay.
And he tells, of course, his side of the David Arquette's like, he stabbed me in the neck. Well, what happened is there was a broken light tube in his hand. Nick Gage was just doing the business, and David Arquette just decided, I'm going to buck on you, and he turned around and basically got stabbed right here.
Not to interrupt, but to interrupt, I saw this guy have a samurai sword like tucked under his chin, like holding it like this, and then he threw like a orange or grapefruit or something up in the air, and it came down, and he was like to like cut it in half.
Yeah,
and he's like, and I don't even know if he cut I don't even know if he hit the fucking grapefruit, but then he's like looking at the camera, and all of a sudden just blood starts fucking flowing down his chest from this fucking cut that he made in his chin.
Oh, he just sliced a fucking piece of skin.
Yeah, it's this profile I follow on Instagram. I highly recommend. It's called Crud Plug.
I'll just stay with my Subway creatures. So he almost died there, and long story short, my man ends up robbing a bank, and it would be like he ends up just. I mean, he just walks in, no face, and this is a guy. He wears
no face, no case.
He wears a bandana to the ring. Look at what somebody said, looking like he's trying to rob a train, and he goes to rob a damn bank, and he just puts his hood on. And it's like clear as day, you can see his face. So he goes on the run.
He's like, they might recognize me more in a mask.
I think he said,
just like that guy with Russell's.
He got like $12,000 or something. He's like, I'm gonna go blow it in Atlantic City, and then I'm gonna go turn myself in. So he did a bid on that. He had ended up getting hooked on ended up a heroin addict basically because the pain medicines.
Yep, I was gonna say
always go.
But he went to prison. He got out. And like he popped a piss test, so he went back in. But like while he was in prison, he got jacked. Like,
of course, prison.
Well, I mean,
prison games.
like he has nothing else to do. So and now he's on like an incredible run now. But it's just a very crazy story. I mean, of course, the way he family issues and all that stuff. Of course, leads to some questionable. His brother wrestled too, and he ended up jumping off a bridge, supposedly running from the cops. But people think it's a suicide. And he says, that bridge is right behind my house. So every time I walk out my backyard, I see the bridge where my brother killed him. So that's rough.
I ever tell you about the time I caught a buzz off a Percocet by accident? It's like 2006-ish.
On accident?
Yeah, I underwent a surgery, like a minor surgery. And I was prescribed Percocet for pain. And my wife already knows what time it is with me, so she's like, look, you're supposed to take one of these every 8 hours, whatever it is. You will not be doing that. You will take one every time that you reach pain that you find unbearable. And when I say unbearable, you won't even be able to ask me for them. You're in that much pain. And I was like, okay, all right, calm down, would you buzzkill? So, I ended up only taking like 3 or 4 of this whole fucking bottle, right? So I kept them, like just in case, I get some bad pain or something. And like a couple years later, I slipped on my arm funny. And I woke up and my shoulder's bugging me. So then I popped this Percocet, and then I was like,
what shoulder pain?
Like, dude, 10 minutes later, I was like, perk 30. Like, I was fucking gone. I was like, no wonder this shit's on the street. This shit feels awesome. But yeah, do not fuck around. I realized I was smart enough to realize I'm definitely even this year things are going pretty good for me, and I'm like, watch every fucking angle because things are so good.
Yeah, only give me bad things. That's how I feel too.
I watch every fucking angle. So I knew as soon as that perk hit that I was like, I can never fuck with this again. This is not meant for me.
Yeah, I will say if I was ever to have a problem, it would be pain pills. Yeah.
And that's not a good problem to have.
No, it's not. So that's why I don't.
I see it every day.
No, I'm sure you do.
Awful.
Yeah, there's no coming back. I mean, pain there's an interesting conversation to be had about pain.
Its problem is it's not measurable. It's only relative.
Except in a medical field, they insist that you do.
Right, with a smiley face, which is ridiculous.
Well, that's for children.
Because they can't.
No, I've seen it for adults.
It's supposed to be for children, or if you can't speak. Like if you're hurting so bad that you can point. But usually you're supposed to say 1 to 10, right?
Yeah, but everyone's always like 10.
I know.
Hey, pain,
while they're scrolling on their phone.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's why I say you can't measure it. So how do you treat it? So it sucks from both ends because you can't describe to someone what you feel, the pain you feel.
Right.
And then as a medical professional, I can't tell if you're lying to me or you're over exaggerating or you're just a punk.
I mean, people are so different. I mean, I could tolerate pain every day. Yeah. That would just put you in the bed, Joe. I mean,
Possibly.
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine your knee pain probably, and your lower back pain all the time.
And I'll be honest with you, I think pro wrestling has ruined my pain receptors because, like, I honestly sometimes wonder. I'm like, I wonder what this would feel like to somebody else.
Yeah, and you can never
never know.
Yeah.
So like
until they come up with some sort of medical equipment.
Yeah, they can measure.
That can measure. Oh, your knees are in 7 out of 10.
And I think it's like, it's like different types of pain and discomfort and shit has different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I remember having a fever and chills during COVID and being like, all right, well let's cut a diorama or do something. You know what I mean? But put a blanket on me, would you? I gotta cut this.
I need more blankets and less blankets.
You know, but then I might stub my toe and be like, look, that's it. Fuck the rest of the day. I'm sitting down.
I did want to mention this. So I got my second Fauci ouchie. It was actually it was 2 weeks
ago. Tickle bug?
No, not my tickle bug. It was two weeks ago Friday. So I'm in my 2 weeks. My stomach ain't been right since. And like that same weekend, I thought I pulled like something between my belly button and my dick. Like a muscle or something.
No, that's that thing that runs from there.
Bro, yeah. I thought that about put me down.
That's
but it went away. I was like, did I pull something I'm going to have? And that's what you run through in your head. It's like, am I going to have surgery on this? Immediately.
At your age.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm old.
I'm not even, I'm more always about then I'm recovering and then what do I do about work and what do I, like. I
mean, luckily I'm in a situation where I don't have all those worries, but geez Louise, man, that sucked. And my stomach's still fucked up. Yeah, I don't know. Well, maybe I should stop eating Arby's roast beef every day. That might have something to do with it.
I haven't had like pains. Like I have not broken anything. I've like sprained stuff bad. I've like ripped the webbing on my hand, but like I've never had a pain.
Well, I got a story about that.
That bothered me more. That I couldn't like. I got all 4 of my wisdom teeth removed without going under, and then I didn't take any painkillers after because I don't.
Holy shit!
I didn't like to take pain pills, so I just sucked it up.
Holy shit!
But none of that bothers me more than nausea. Nausea will fuck my day up more than any pain because like I just can't do anything to feel any better.
Yeah. Except well,
like bad nausea, like the dizziness, fucking the spinning, and you can't even open your eyes. Yeah. I'd rather have pain than that.
You talking about the webbing on your hand? Did I ever tell you guys about the guy I knew that got cut right there?
No.
So okay, I was in Boy Scouts. We were on a week-long hiking trip on the Appalachian Trail. Mm-hmm. Okay. 2 guys, Jamie and Billy, cousins. Billy throws Jamie's
back in Alabama.
Yeah.
Billy and Jamie cousins.
Billy throws Jamie's hat up on top of this, like it's lean-to shelter they have on these trails. It's literally just like a tin roof. Mm. So he jumps up, and here's the edge. Here's the edge of the tin roof. My man's hand goes right here, down to the white meat. We're 3 days from civilization. So my man gets sea breeze and a sock. This is in June. Okay, keep that in mind. So we had a mid hike resupply. Basically, I had somebody come bring us more stuff and take our because we couldn't really carry a week's worth. The way we were doing it, at least. So fast forward to let's say I'm gonna say September. We were in high school. I think we were sophomores. Jamie was over at my house. We were playing basketball. I go up to block his shot, and we tear it open again.
Oh my god!
This is months later.
It just never. It takes a long time for things to go back.
I don't remember ever playing basketball with Jamie again.
Wow. Good grief.
I talked to him on Facebook last year, actually. He's doing well. So
I remember in Jackass when they just did the paper cut there. I was like,
yeah. I still have the scar there. Like I could see the inside of my hand. Yeah, it was crazy because it's actually 2 pieces of skin. It's like folded over. So like when you rip it, you can just look.
Yeah, that's
kind of like a foreskin.
So
I would imagine.
I'm telling you from experience.
I was gonna try to find.
My shit looks pretty.
This picture. I don't know where it is. Anyways, these guys who do the Japanese death matches, they had one like I guess it was two mornings ago here, and one of them dumped a 50. They were cut, shredded up, just light tubes have cut them to pieces. That's just what they do. This dude had a 25-pound bag of salt imported on the other guy.
Ooh, I'll tell you, like some of that shit, like that.
I think it's just like masochistic.
Some of that scarring shit does look cool on people. Like I look at like Manson's body because he's like.
I mean, that's a promotion in Japan that does the hardcore stuff.
I've looked at like Marilyn Manson's body, like when he takes his shirt off, because like he's busted glass all over himself and everything else during performances, and I'm like, man, like Shit looks kind of cool though. I'll never forget. Like
that's it.
Ugh.
Just pouring that salt on him. Woo. Well, we think it's salt. It may be sugar. But
I had my
still. It's just like gritty shit in your fucking cuts.
When I had my appendix removed, my wife was like I kept like the bandage on it, right, for like forever. Like
you didn't change it.
Well, no, like you weren't even supposed to, because it was like microscope, like there's only 3 little holes it makes.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? It was bullshit. I mean, it was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like, big open gash. So like
that's what they called her.
Right. Oh. So then I'm like I left it on there for a long period of time. She's like, "Are you gonna take it off? You gotta take it off." And I was like, I mean, I'll take it off when it's ready to come off. It's like stuck to my fucking stomach hair and all sorts of shit. Like when it's ready, it's ready. And she was like, she had like try to have like this little intimate moment with me. She's like, look, the first step of dealing with the scar is looking at it. And I was like, all right, wait a minute, time out. Let me tell you what my problem is with this scar. Is that it's 3 little baby sissy assholes, and I want one fucking mean wicked one across the fucking flank of me, like the old school guys have. Yep. Like that's my problem. Don't worry about me and the scar. Listen, I'll cut my face right now if it makes me look more badass.
I got some guys that could hook you up. I'll call my brother-in-law. He'll chop you to pieces.
I'll be here looking like Anakin Skywalker if you let me.
Oh. They did a spot at a deathmatch show this weekend. Who actually they lost the building. The landlord said, the dude's a professional stuntman. He does his deathmatch shit. So the spot is he gets his crotch lit on fire, and then they put it out with a weed eater.
Oh my god!
They couldn't get it out.
You watch some wild stuff, man.
2nd-degree burns.
Stupid.
Yeah,
it's dumb shit.
It's crazy.
But that's why you watch. Then you watch for the spectacle.
I mean, you do. I mean, yeah. Here the problem with deathmatch wrestling is escalation. At some point in time,
someone's going to die.
You're going to have a stump grinder match. What are you going to do? I mean,
yeah.
How do you get past that? To wrap up my nerd week, and we can talk about this however you want. Is I watched the next episode of the Bad Batch Bunch.
Dude, it's more of the same, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very unfortunate, and it's not bad.
It's not making me not want to watch it.
It's not. No, don't take that from
entertained?
It. You will be entertained.
Yeah, it's not that it's bad. It's that it's not great.
Listen, I say that all the time. Just because I say it's not good doesn't mean it's bad.
Yeah, I mean,
Star Wars has some really good parts.
Yeah, that whole part with the they were going to like execute those civilians. Mm-hmm. Like that was great. And the tone of it was great, and the level of hardcore they were willing to go to with it was great. It's just that the actual plot, like the best thing is I think what Passive Bear said in that tweet to us, where he was like, "It makes me remember how much I hate escort missions in video games."
Yeah,
What about escorts?
Well, I don't know for sure, but I think I would ultimately fall down that same massage path where I'm like, I don't know if you actually want to touch me. I'm paying you to touch me, and now I feel uncomfortable about it.
Can I call you Massage Ventress?
Yo!
Is that our title?
Probably.
Bro.
Massage Ventress.
Dude, that made up for all the other bullshit.
She's got that husky ass voice.
I love massage. I have a statue of massage.
You want to flip over?
And the only reason why I don't have that same statue is because it's not revealing enough for me.
Yeah,
but it is beautiful. I do think it is beautiful.
You can just come over and see it.
That's fine. Yep. And I gotta be okay with that, Joe. You can have your things, I can have mine. Oh, dude, we were watching Mortal Kombat 2 yesterday.
Oh my god!
To do a commentary on. There's this one scene where Liu Kang like crawls out this little hole. I was like, look, man, it's like your little hole back here. And we say it all the time, because I store boxes back there now. But I need help to do it because I gotta like crawl in it, and then somebody has to feed me the boxes, or else be a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
So like I always say to Selena, Selena likes helping me with little projects and shit. And I'll be like, Selena, you want to help me get boxes in Joe's house? And she'll be like, yeah, let's go. You know what I mean? She knows exactly where it's at. Like
that's my house.
Oh boy.
Anyway, so yeah, I mean, do you have anything else to add about Bad Batch?
I don't know. It's
the execution scene was like, okay, they still got balls. I was happy to see that they still got balls.
Right. But that's just such a, I don't know. It's just you need to. The show seems to have an identity crisis, or there's too many. There's too many cooks.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we're gonna try to tell this hardcore war story. Oh, we got this kid with us too.
Yeah.
Pick what you're going to be.
I agree.
You know,
I
pick
agree.
what you're going to be.
Unless you're really gonna scar that kid for life with some shit.
Yeah.
Well, you know, and
Like you don't coddle him. You bring this kid along, but you do what you gotta do, and then the kid's just like fucked up from seeing that.
This kid is obviously not a Jango Fett clone.
Right.
We don't know what this is. This a Palpatine project? Or
Well,
what
my question is, who could the kid be?
It's a clone of someone. You know, and why the fuck's the kid got an Australian accent?
All clones in the Star Wars universe have Australian or New Zealand accents.
Right, but I mean,
they're clones,
but she
built in. It's genetically coded in.
They should have had Palpatine. Like,
do the.
good day, mate.
I can't even try to do it. But she's wearing the headdress from.
You got to go to the doctors. I can't do it.
Yeah, that was a little bit.
It's got too Palpatine.
Papatini, is that like a pasta?
Yeah. I hate it when I ruin it.
Oh man,
It's like when I land a good joke and walk out of the room and have to go back to get my keys.
Yeah,
fucking
that's
hate
the
it.
bummer. That's
fucking
the
hate
bummer.
it.
Yeah, so I'm anxious to see where they go with it. I don't know. I keep forgetting that it happens. It's like most of the stuff on Fridays. I'm like, oh shit, it's Friday. I can watch. It's like, oh fuck, it's Saturday afternoon. I guess I need to watch this,
Dude, I also think that it's really, for me, it's just, for me to be engaged in a television show, that shit has to be operating at a 10 out of 10 for a long period of time for me to get engaged. And then once you got me with the 10 out of 10, then you can fuck around a little bit.
Like Teen Titans.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which you never finished season 2 of.
Yeah. They fucked around too much. Too much fucking around.
Too soon. Too much fucking around too soon.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think about, like, Sopranos, right? Like, Sopranos, like, seasons 1, 2, and 3 are kind of operating at a 10 out of 10. And then 4 or 5, like get all over the fucking place. But the first half was so strong that now I'm in.
Yeah.
And I just don't think that, like, I don't know if any of these shows have had that, with the exception maybe of the last arc, the Mandalorian War arc of Clone Wars. Where I was like, man, this is fucking perfect from start to finish. This 3 episode section, You know
what's seen from The Sopranos? I don't know why, but I remember distinctly, and they never really followed up on it. When Bobby's kid takes a shit in the shower at school.
Bobby Bacala.
Yeah, and they really never follow up with anything on it. It's just like this scene of this kid shitting in the shower.
Yeah.
Did he push it down with his toes?
Oh,
just gonna blast water on it, bro.
like the fucking Play-Doh shit.
Play-Doh spaghetti maker.
Yeah. Joe, how about you?
Done some shit.
You got a rating hat.
I like for Mortal Kombat. Bobby got me a cone straw hat.
That's not what that's called.
I had
a rice patty hat.
I don't think I'm allowed to say that.
Bobby has a rice patty hat.
Is that like a Krabby Patty?
Yeah,
Krabby Patty hat.
I was raiding for Halloween one year.
Okay,
It's okay because
it all comes out.
There were white guys in the movies.
Yeah,
Both.
and Hispanic guys in the game.
Yeah, Hispanic guys.
That's right.
But yeah, that was fun. I would never watch them on my own. It was as bad as no. It's worse than I remembered. I remember being god awful, but reliving it and forgetting some of the bad parts added to how bad it was. Like everything I remember was perfectly just as bad, and then there were bad shit that I like memory regressed out of my head. Those fucking stone monsters are god awful.
Interesting thing we found out, because we do like some IMDb notes about it afterwards. Now,
Okay.
It was Ray Park's first movie.
Really?
Yep, he was a stunt double for like this like flipping piece that like definitely had Darth Maul flip vibes.
Yes.
Interesting.
I always think about Toad.
Oh God, what an awful fucking movie that is.
He was also Snake Eyes, right?
He was.
Yes.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
He was also the Headless Horseman, I think.
I thought that's Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken was the head full
He
horseman.
was the head for
It was a horseman head. But yeah, it was fun. I enjoy it because it was work but not work, because it was like it wasn't putting on a show. It was me and you bullshitting about this movie. Like the last one was great too, and then we have like 3 more movies lined up now.
Yeah.
Speaking of things that just dropped, watched 7 out of 10 episodes of Castlevania this morning with because Chris is off today because she got her second COVID shot yesterday, so she took off just in case. It's fucking great so far. 7. There's 3 more till the end, but so far it's fucking phenomenal. The animation quality has gone up. The story is fucking great. It ties everything all 4 seasons so far. Like it's one continuous flow story. It doesn't feel like they made one season and then had to tack on more shit. It seems like all of this was already pre-planned.
So you say that this is the final season?
I don't know. There's 3 more episodes. I assume not if it's doing so good. It's 10 episodes.
Oh man,
who knows?
Die a hero, live long enough to see yourself become a villain, Joe.
That's a lot of material.
Yeah,
right. There's a lot of source material. They don't have to come up with.
Yeah, that's true.
All they have to do is take the 3 lines from the game and expand it into a story.
Is Dracula your favorite Hollywood classic monster?
Which Dracula though?
Like it's like Dracula, werewolf, mummy, Frankenstein, Bela Lugosi, like of those
this guy,
the universal monsters, universal monsters as it were, like a creature of the Black Lagoon.
Like Frankenstein.
Yeah.
I'll probably go with Frankenstein. I like it. I like his vibes.
You would.
I know.
I don't know. It looks like he might be a little pain in the neck sometimes. But big shoes to fill. But
stop it!
Yeah.
Probably Wolfman. That old vampire is just so corny. I like vampires.
Nowadays,
but it's so corny. Like Wolfman is still a fucking dog man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And looking at it objectively now, how did you go from Nosferatu to that? I mean, it's just.
And then from that to Twilight.
Yeah.
Well, what's funny about all that, right? I mean,
and Brad Pitt too.
Ultimately, Nosferatu, that's like an interpretation. Do you know what I mean? Like,
have you ever watched that like the silent movie?
No, hell no. I did watch Shadow of a Vampire. You ever see that?
I know what it is. I've never seen it.
It's fucking awesome.
Is that like
Nicolas Cage?
Is
it?
I think.
What year is that from?
Late 90s, early 2000s, somewhere in there.
But in Shadows of Johnny Depp.
Do you know what it is?
Once Bitten?
You'd probably dig it. Oh. It's no, Once Bitten. I love.
I know it.
I love it. Vampire in Brooklyn,
dude. And you know what? That it's just funny because you watch that shit as a kid, right? And you don't pick it up. But all right. So, oh god. So remember the lead vampire from Once Bitten was the Countess or whatever her name was.
I don't remember.
Blonde lady.
Narrows it down.
Okay, well, it was like a blonde woman. She was sexy, beautiful, et cetera, et cetera. And she had her main vampire helper was this gay dude. Well, I should say, effeminate dude, right? Mm-hmm. But totally lost on me at the time because I'm a kid and I don't fucking know what they're trying to drop on me reference wise. But he comes out of her closet with clothes for her to wear for the day, right? And she's like, are you coming out of my closet already? And he's like, I came out of the closet years ago, my lady. But would never pick up on it. But yeah. So Shadow of the Vampire is a movie about the making of Nosferatu.
Oh.
But it's like a alt universe kind of thing where the premise of it is they went to Transylvania and actually found this fucking vampire and then tried to build a movie around him and offered him people on the set and shit for dinner if he did the role and it's fucking great.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, check that out.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's good.
What's the coolest vampires that you've ever encountered in cinema?
Coolest.
In cinema?
Yeah.
More than Eddie Murphy?
I didn't
look. Any vampire in Brooklyn is going to be cooler.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll tell you mine. It's Steven Dorff in Blade, the first one.
Well, so I was going to say the Blade vampires are pretty cool.
They're cool.
The underworld vampires are fucking cool.
They're cool, but I don't know. I think the Blade vampires are more.
I think
they're the same archetype of vampires.
Listen, you get Tracy Lords and Steven Dorff with most of his shirt not buttoned.
Yep.
And Donald Logue, who I love as a character actor, with getting his arm cut off constantly.
And the Once Bitten vampires are pretty cool. All wear shades.
And you got the old guy. You got the old guy.
Future so bright, Bobby.
With the Romanian accent, who's always the guy with the Romanian accent in every
right,
movie.
and then they take their helmets. They're wearing their motorcycle helmets.
Dude, we should do a vampire deep dive one episode. Just talk about vampires, their representations of vampires, like
The sexuality of vampires.
Dude, did I ever tell you about the time that I bought this fucking porno about vampires and it was not what I signed up for? Oh God, bless. I don't
Something
even
kind of sucking than you were looking for.
I should make this a Patreon thing, but I'm brave. I'm so brave. So I was at this. If I buy porn, right?
Back in the day?
Yeah. When I bought porn, it was always in the like bargain bin. Like you get like 6 discs or whatever for for
8 hours
for $8. Yeah, exactly. I look for that shit too. Like 20 hours over so many discs for $16. Like, oh man, like this is like the dollar menu of porn. So that's what my vibe was. So like this one, like a lot of them.
That's going on the list. Dollar menu of porn.
A lot of them were like like the rental ones.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So they would be just in a plastic case.
Yep.
With like a translucent plastic case, and you look down at the disc, and it just says the name of it on the disc. And I picked up this one that said vampires, and I was like, in. So I got that shit home. That shit said vampires. B-I.
Oh.
That explains a lot.
And
Bobby, did it suck?
At times.
Do you watch the whole thing?
No. Maybe.
How far in did you make it?
I think I scanned each scene. Like just, you know what I mean?
Just
Check the vibe.
Check the vibe. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, you got it. So this story gets worse. I want to say, like, I was thinking about cutting it there, but as we were talking, I was like, it gets worse. So, if when shit's at my expense, I love it. So here we go. So I'm at my mom's house, right? At this time, I'm living at my mom's house, and I don't know if you guys remember living with your folks, but like certain things become more complicated.
Yeah, you get to hide shit.
Hiding shit, throwing shit away.
Yes.
Getting
You can't
shit
just put
in
shit
the
trash
house
can.
sometimes
Yep.
can get complicated. Especially my mom. What's that bag?
Yep.
How old were you guys still living at home?
I moved out when I was 23.
Okay.
I got sent to military boarding school at 12.
But you came back home.
I came back for a bit before
Right.
I left again. Yeah. But yeah, it was weird because I was like 17, 18.
Yeah.
Until I was 20.
Where was that military boarding school at?
Front Royal, Virginia.
You put a little sauce in the Virginia.
Because it's front
I have a question. Do you think in your accent?
Dude, I can hear my accent.
I know. So in your head, when you're thinking to yourself, does it
I
have?
haven't thought about that.
Do you think to yourself? You think to yourself in English? Or?
In English, mainly in English, but I switched to Asian when I purposely, like when I'm doing math, I switched to Asian.
Are
Damn
you
it!
serious?
I was gonna say that.
I mean, no, serious.
When the
Asian
punchline is reality.
Asian math is better. Asian numbers is better.
Yeah.
I'm like they're not even just Chinese. Like
I believe
all
it.
the Asian number system is better than the English number system. First of all, we don't have 11 and 12 because those are dumb numbers.
What?
Well, where else does the word 11 and 12 show up ever?
Right.
in the American
Right.
language?
So right. Because yeah.
Right. So the way.
Yeah.
So exactly. So once you can count to 10, you can count to 99. Once you can count to 100, you can count to 999 in the language. So like the number system is very methodical and logical to do math in.
Right.
So what is 11? Is it 10 plus 1?
Yes.
Okay.
10-1, 10-2, 10-3, 10-4. And then 2, 10-1 is 21. It just keeps going.
God, whenever somebody's 14, it's just a whole bunch of people saying they understand one another. Shit, is something wrong with my fucking mic again?
I can hear you just fine.
Yeah.
All right, so let me continue on with my story. So, if the box art would have been there for this thing, I would have never had the issue that I ended up having.
Sure.
But that being said, now I'm trying to get rid of it. And in order to get rid of it, I put it in my car. And I tuck it in a car seat. It's fucked up, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't.
Now it is.
Yeah, it's fucked up. Hold on one second.
It was fine.
Hello? Test.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
There it
okay.
is.
I might be mic replacement time.
Just system.
Maybe. But like, so, yes. So I put it in my car and I tucked it in the seat, like, in the
Yes.
passenger seat, like between the seat and the console.
Yep.
And I'm going to get
just the disc.
just in the little plastic case.
It's thin enough. It's not a big case. It's a little.
Yeah.
Just this case.
So, and my goal is, when I'm at a gas station You know what I mean? And there's nobody around. Kind of casually lump it with my receipts and other bullshit empty bottles of stuff that's in the car, plastic bottles of course.
Piss and
No. I've never been that guy. But I'll sort of give it a toss, right?
Yep.
Well, I have my brother in the car, and my brother's a fidgety motherfucker too. And the next thing you know is he brings out this shit, and I'm like, ho 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 ho, and he's like, whoa. What is this? And like it became a whole thing, so to speak.
God.
Yeah.
Did you buy VHS porn? Because I bought porn long enough to where I bought VHS porn.
oh yeah.
I think I did.
I mean, I peddled it.
You tell me about hard to get rid of. Do you remember
how big they were?
Porn VHS that wasn't just a VHS. Porn VHS came in a styrofoam tray. It goes in a big ass box.
It's like it equated to like, you remember the long CD box?
Yes.
Imagine that, but with a V. I mean, they were as big as,
I do remember that.
Some of these omnibus books, wherever the fuck you put them.
They're upstairs now.
Whose
Yeah.
idea was that? Did it just need to fit more pictures in the box?
It was for theft.
Is that what it is? Okay.
That's what it was.
Well, you were in the movie industry, so
I
you
was
would
in
know.
I
thought there was like a foam lobbyist who like lobbied to these companies. Look, you need to buy some foam trays.
No, it was strictly for
Makes sense.
Yes,
theft.
yeah, you can't. You
And
can't do that
DVDs,
shit.
but I guess by the time DVDs came around, well, VHSs were so much more expensive. They were
Because it's all
$100 a
parts.
piece.
It's not moving parts.
Yeah, and it just the entire film industry changed by the time DVD had come out.
Makes sense.
That's a whole nother story. But
Anyway, Joe, I'm sorry you were on your nerve.
No, it's good. Finished watching Resident Evil 8 playthrough. It's great. Loved it. I think the series is going on the up and up. I think it took a dive for a while. But
back on track.
But since 7 was really good, and 8 is a direct sequel to 7, and it ties into earlier games, and them having been doing a really good job remaking the old games for the current gen. I'm happy. I just hope their movies, I think, is getting rebooted. I hope that they will do well with that. Now that I don't think it's going to be Paul Anderson and his wife doing the shit anymore, hopefully. Dude, he did the first Mortal Kombat movie. His record is so spotty, right? First Mortal Kombat movie, amazing. He didn't want to do the second Mortal Kombat movie, good choice. In order to do Event Horizon, even better choice.
Right.
But then he's made 8 awful Resident Evil movies, which were box office hits, I think.
I don't know that I've ever seen.
And then he
any
recently
of
made
those.
Monster Hunter, also with his wife as the lead, and butchering
Who's
another
his
video
wife?
game movie, Mila Jovovich.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
So like
That makes
I
sense.
met her. Weird flex, but yeah, I met her. The first New York Comic Con.
Huh.
And actually, I was with Shoulders. Shoulders like a big fan.
Of
Her. And
I mean,
she was late as fuck to the panel. And
Did you tell her about it, Bobby? Did you say you're late?
You know you're late, right? I tried to leave, and Shoulders was like, we can't. We're so close. So like, we ended up,
she needs to take a whiff.
yeah. So
I
we
can
ended
smell
up
it.
we ended up sticking around, and we got we met her and shit. Like she was cool. She was nice. She was late as fuck and didn't apologize, but it's all good. She shows what type of time she's on. Her time's more valuable than mine. It's fine.
I mean, her time is
As
millions
a
of
matter of
dollars.
fact, fuck her. Actually, I'm kidding. She's probably a nice lady.
I know you weren't directly speaking about video games, but that's kind of video games. I think I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to get a PS5, which is
Good
like
luck. They're gonna have shortages through 2022.
I know. I found this guy on Twitter that like posts drops, and it's like getting sneakers. You got to have 4 computers up and refreshing, and
Oh, like Masco.
well, not quite, not yet. The scalpers, the flippers get to them, but yeah. So
For what? Like crazy markup?
no, I mean you can get it for retail. I'm just gonna try to get one for retail. You know how I like
he's
to-
been getting. Oh, he's just been.
Yeah, he posts links like since I've been following him, he's had the Xbox has been in stock.
I wonder if he gets
Several
affiliate
times.
code or some shit. Well, let me.
No, he works for one of the big tech magazine websites. He's just helping people out.
Yeah, let me know if you get a hand on after you get a hand on one. If there's another one,
Yeah, so
I'll buy it.
it seems like he knows what days it's going to be where, and he'll give you a heads up.
Sounds like insider training, bro.
Well, probably is. Nobody's trading though.
I watched Demon Slayer, the movie, the Infinite Train arc.
Mugen Train.
It's good.
I don't know why. I know.
You
I
know
know
it,
that.
yeah.
Because my family watches that.
Dude, that movie fucks hard. I mean, there's some there's
It's
some
the vibe.
I mean, that's my Friday vibe.
there like it has the same. Bobby, you wouldn't like it because of some of the parts that are in it, because there are parts where it's like goofy anime, right? which I also don't like in certain serious tones. It fucks it up. So like this movie, other than those parts in this movie, like it hits the ground running, and like it starts hitting you in your feels like a third of the way in it's already, and it stays good.
You know the when they laugh so hard that the eyes turn into greater than, less than symbols, like as an animation style.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
the greater than, less than symbol.
you know what I'm talking about though. So I gotta show you this. So like I put up this thing on Patreon of like some of the footage that Phil got the night that we did 300, and it's not. Hold on, and like there's a picture that it chose of the thumbnail of Joe, and I was like, holy shit, it's the greater than, less than symbol in real life.
See, I told you. Remember, you always say anime is too raft. I'm like, dude, that's how that's what we look like, and that's how we act. It is accurate.
That shit.
So you just, it's not that you don't like anime. You don't like my culture.
Oh, here we go. I'll be on Twitter in no time.
Bobby with his fucking rice patty hat, talking about my people's fucking reaction to things aren't normal.
Be like, less than is the answer. Less than.
I started playing D&D again.
Oh, with your normal crew?
No, I haven't. Because
that used to be like a Sunday thing.
Yeah, every Sunday. We went for like 3. It was like 3 years.
Yeah.
Like that campaign ended. Like, and also since COVID, and I moved here since then. Yeah, last time I played.
So they lived far, didn't they?
They live in Baltimore.
Yeah, so it's like
it was different because I used to go there after work on Sundays, so that it made sense. But now it'd be like really far, and also like the time constraints. So like driving an hour to play for like a couple hours, and then driving an hour back doesn't make sense anymore. Okay. You know, but now we're doing it on an app, on online app. You can with cameras and everything with my with Twitch friends.
Oh, okay.
That's cool.
So we started last week. It was fucking great. Had a good time. It's what inspired me to start doing art again.
Nice.
Second session is this.
Piece looks great, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, it really does.
Like, I keep working. Like I don't know how to not. Dude.
Now you need to start
one picture. 3 weeks I've been doing this one picture, and I can't stop fucking with it.
Now you need to start putting textures in it.
Yes. The pants. Like I was doing.
Oh no, in the armor too. Like you can put like the little go into the texture tool under the brushes and look for like scratched metal and shit, and you can start layering that underneath. You know what I mean?
I've been trying. I've been fucking with Pokemon, making more and more into it. Like Procreate. It's cheating. There's no way I could do this without on paper. If you give me a set of color pencils, a pen, and a paper, no way.
I agree. But you can't do it on Procreate if you can't do something on paper. It's a give and take to it, and at the same time, it's kind of like reversing. The tables have turned in many ways, Joseph. Where I would usually be the one saying that, and you'd be like, "No, but the shit's dead. The other shit's dead. This is just the new art form to learn."
Yeah,
in many ways.
Yeah. But like, there's too many options. Well, there's too many. There's infinite options. So I can't stop fucking with it. Like I just keep pressing this button, pressing that button.
No art is finished, Joe. Only abandoned.
Dude, that's my.
I think it's Spielberg.
That's my life.
Yeah, I think it's Spielberg.
Never finish any goddamn project. But so I'm looking forward to D&D every Thursday night now, and it's the same people that was on the podcast with that I guest starred on.
Oh, okay.
I'll give them a plug. If you don't mind putting a link. Nifty Cauldron is what it's called. Good peoples. They talk a lot more about anime. This same format as this, like no real format, lifestyle, nerd, but mainly anime and video games, and only 1 hour long. But yeah, other than that, been like nonstop on. I think we're getting another iPad.
I wouldn't
because we're both on it all the time.
I wouldn't. Welcome to Apple Life. I wouldn't. No. I wouldn't know where to. I wouldn't know where to begin in an hour podcast. Look, I'm not even comfortable
yet. We're not done bullshitting. We're not done bullshitting yet. An hour in. We don't even get to the news part till like 2.5 hours.
Like, man, like I haven't even hit the recline button on the chair yet. You know what I mean? Like
I get that from a digestibility. I mean, like if I'm just looking for stuff, I'm driving. I'm like, I want to listen to something. I don't want to listen to something that's 3-4 hours long. I'm probably going to pick something that's an hour and a half.
I like listening to long things.
Mainly because I can listen to it at like 1.25 and be done in like...
But 100, I can get it from the consumer standpoint. I can't get it from the creator standpoint.
Yeah.
They don't have time. One of them is in like one of the European countries.
Yeah.
And the other one is in California.
No, let me specify. I mean to actually do it. Do you know what I mean? Like to be like
look, we're an hour in today.
Yeah, I would feel like
we're just bullshitting.
It would feel like to me. It would feel like, and there's no knock to them, of course. But to me, it's like it would be like going like we're all going to go to a restaurant, but we get appetizers and then we're out of there.
Oh yeah, no.
Like you know what I mean. That's how I feel. Like I haven't even got my fucking feet wet yet. Like I'm just I'm still getting the vibe of the spot. Like I'm getting ready to take my towel off. You know what I mean? I haven't gotten in the pool.
Yeah, an hourness when you get in the groove and just like fucking having a good time. For me, anyway. But maybe we're biased because we've been doing this format forever.
I think it's also how I feel with songs, like with these, like you know, like.
You don't like the 2.5 minute songs?
I need the third verse.
You don't like the 2.5 minutes? You need
I'm just getting my feet wet.
You need the 7-8 minute with the guitar solo.
You know, I like it, but I don't need the guitar solo necessarily. But I like the 7-8.
I miss how I pad it out, bro.
Yeah, I hear you.
What about bass solo?
Dude, you know the bass I like, the big bass. When like the metal bands where the one hand is straight down, like the right arm that's like plucking the strings.
All they could
straight
possibly
down.
do is.
I love that shit. When I play air bass, that's the bass I'm rocking with.
And you need to cut out in the middle of the song, play a sketch, a scene with talking parts, and then back into the song again.
Nah.
I hated that shit. I fucking hate that shit. Nah. I'm okay with it in the beginning. Sometimes there's like talking parts, it's like a little bit of acting, and then it goes in the song. I'm okay with that.
And sometimes I don't want to hear it without that.
I'm gonna
do you know what I mean? Like when they have like the little skits, sometimes it like play right
in the
into
middle of the song?
No.
Oh,
in the beginning,
yeah.
where I'm like, man, like it's not the same without that one guy screaming "fuck you" before the song starts.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what's messed up now is a lot of artists would put their song, and then at the end of that song, they put a skit that ties into the next song.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Like, there's an Outkast song, and at the tail end of it is a Raekwon skit because he's on the song he did. Yeah, and it's like that's forever just dumb.
Yeah.
It's just dumb now.
Yeah.
I mean, shit's major.
It's just like some of the live music. Live recordings.
I don't like listening to
There's
live
like this one stain song.
I like being there for the live show.
Yeah.
There's I can name on one hand the live songs that I like.
Freebird.
Mine is
which one of the Freebirds?
Exactly. And who exactly is singing the song?
Yeah, I'm good with all of them.
The Nirvana stuff live.
The Great Below.
Unplugged is great. It's my favorite.
The Great Below by 9 Inch Nails live because it has like the melodies a little different. And it's like it's a little bit more like present and haunting in the mix, and like that's one that I know I love. But like I can name the other ones.
Yeah, that's not much like, but like the Unplugged, maybe because it's my first cassette and how I was introduced to back in the day modern music. But I listened, and it was on cassette tape. Back in the day, you just listened to the whole fucking thing all the way through.
Right.
So in my head, even when I listen to the songs, the talking parts are in it. Like
right,
between songs when he's just talking to the audience, and like that's part of the show.
Oh yeah, so there is some of that.
I'm gonna fuck this up, and then he starts.
Yeah,
like, yeah.
So
dude,
some of
like,
that
that's
there's
personality.
There's some of the Manson ones that have that. That some of those stories are great. That he says in between songs, like
So for me, those are like complete pieces. I wouldn't listen to a just one track off of those records, just a live track.
Yeah. That okay. I'm with you there.
And that's it. Oh, sorry for just background noise. British family cooking show, but I'm waiting for British. It's nowhere near as good as British Bake Off, which I fucking love. I can't wait for that shit to come back. But I just enjoy when we watch like competition shows, and I like food. I just prefer British shows because they are wholesome and good vibes. I fucking can't, like, I never liked American reality shows or competition shows, but ever since realizing the British shows are like that, I can't fucking stand American competition shows anymore. I just fucking hate the people. It makes me angry where watching the British, these competition shows make me feel calm. I'm like, I feel good feels.
My Siri is British.
I got to watching...
What?
My Siri is British.
Your Siri's...
I think
Your Office is British,
mine's
too.
Australian. Yeah, it is. Let me tell you about that British Office. I got... when my parents were here, I sat with my mom for a bit one day, and we watched Chopped. That show Chopped.
Yeah.
So
With,
basically...
Alton Brown.
Alton Brown's on there, which I like. I like Alton Brown. My wife loves Alton Brown.
Because he cook with science.
He does. Basically, the premise is, Bobby, here's this basket full of, what's the kind of stuff they put in there? Just bizarre shit sometimes. It's like, here's an eggplant, an octopus tentacle, this salt from the top of some mountain, and we need you to make a souffle with it. Yep. Or just crazy stuff like that.
When I did watch Chop was one of them I watched. I just don't like the shit talk.
There was something funny on there. This girl had made this food, and it never did really look attractive, and she always put it in, like, you guys know what a ramekin is? It's like if you're going to bake like a souffle. No, a ramekin. It's like a little dish if you're going to bake like a souffle in or something. I guarantee you there's some in your kitchen.
Probably.
The girl, she kept presenting the food in there, and the last round, she was one of the last people. Alton Brown says, "Chef, go get me a plate." And she got everybody plates, and they dumped it out and ate it. And it was like, why would you not learn that? Because he said something about it each time. Your presentation's whack because I can't eat it. I can't get to it.
Maybe she just thinks those things are fancy.
Maybe she holds her pinky up and she's making it.
And some people, like some people find the one trick to something, they really like it, and they use that for the rest of their lives.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I see that all the time.
That's true.
Yep.
Diorama people? Are you talking about diorama people?
Yeah.
I see in your eyes. both of you talking about diorama people.
No. I wasn't. I was actually.
Oh, it's like, you know what it is? It's a detox of cooking.
I'll be honest with you. I was thinking at the time, I was like, fuck, that might be me because I like this garlic herb spice and I can put it on everything.
How that works. Hey, I joined a Facebook group. Imagine that. It's called.
How many are you in? Do you never leave them?
I have no idea.
Your feed must be entire group posts.
It is basically.
Yeah.
You don't leave them.
I leave them sometimes, or I turn them off if I'm not interested anymore. Because sometimes it's hard to leave. All the perks. I joined one. It's called Let Your Geek Sideshow. It's I think it may be the official sideshow, but there's several people. I believe Caleb and Esteban are both in there. Protect Esteban. That's why I'm in there. That's really why I'm in there. Don't tell Esteban I'm in there. Sure. Anytime somebody posts something about detox, I always say, I wish I could get detox. Somebody posted a picture of they found the detox at the dump.
Oh my god!
And I said,
dude, is it the guy that stapled it to his forehead and jumped in?
We don't talk about that.
Then somebody said, somebody replied, now I could hear it in their voice, "It's only 60 pounds. Save your money." Sorry.
Oh god. Is that it? Is that it for?
Yeah, that was my week as far as I remember.
I don't have much either, honestly. I will say, J. Cole came out.
I've been meaning to listen to it.
So I listened to it. I'm not a huge fan, but I'm not a huge. So this is an interesting conversation broadly, to be a fan of someone's talent and ability and not a fan of what they actually do.
I mean, that's a lot of art.
Okay.
Artists. Like, so that's musicians, actors.
That's where I am with him.
And I'll tell you, with him, like, I love some of his stuff, and then some of it is just like, I'm not going to listen to that. It's not for me.
Yeah,
I just feel like it's not for me.
It's a lot of it is like it's thinking man's music, like, for one. Where like I don't always want to sit down with a book and figure out what you're saying here. You know,
the album of his, he's sitting on like a roof, his feet.
As Forest Hill Drive or whatever.
Yeah, that's fucking great. I love that.
I mean, the Born Sinner or whatever one that one is with like the demon head on the is like fucking awesome. Also, but I will say that he put out a freestyle for part of his rollout, and he had a bar in that bitch that was fucking great. He was like, "No Bill Cosby, but if they're sleeping on me, then fuck them."
Wow.
Is that too soon?
I
don't know if that's too soon or not.
I don't know.
That shit was hard as fuck.
God
damn. So I was able to. Did I talk about it at all last week? I did the closet for Mother's Day for
you were. You were going to work on it as soon as we were done.
So it's been pretty much the gift that's kept on giving.
Sure.
We've been working on it all week.
How's your back, Clark?
Yeah, it's fine, but it's fucking crazy. Like just how much it changed the space. Like, and it's also weird. It's not quite done yet because, like, of course, they were like out of like. So I want these drawers, or she wants these drawers for it. And
come on, Bobby, you ain't got a lot of kids.
Yeah. So I'll tell you, there's a truth to that too, though. Like, because I know how long that she's wanted this, and I've wanted to do it for her. Like, it's been important for me to do it for her. Like, I really want to give this to you.
But you had to get all this stuff first, right? All these detox and.
And Billy's.
What did you?
K-Laxus.
Did you try to sell her on just using Detolfs and Billy's for consistency's sake?
She was a
Look,
shoes
you
and
take
Detolfs.
you take all the shelves out. You can hang clothes in it. You see what you got going
They have
on.
attachments. They have attachments for all that stuff nowadays.
And you take out the two middle pieces. You can.
There you go. We'll make a double Detolf.
Oh God.
But anyway, so it's been important for me to do it for her also, but like so we ordered and all of it came in, but they were sold out of like drawers for it. Like, and she wanted 4 drawers.
4 stones.
4 stones. So like it was just frustrating. So like it's all done, but that, but it's like all secured and mounted, and just like we painted the walls, like we put a new light fixture in, and like it's really I'm happy for, because like it's also like I've also noticed like it's kind of like us in a way. Where like it's kind of like her shit's on display a bit now, right? Like the clothes, like the shoes are on display. Like it's a shoe rack, like where they're sitting out. Like it's nice. But like, I swear to God, since I got this thing fucking operational, I've seen 3 different shirts that I've never seen before. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because you just can see them now.
Yes.
So like it was nice to do, and I'm looking forward to finishing it off. But it has been like every day. I mean, even today we had to take like some of the old furniture from there to the dump. It's just like, okay. I mean, this is going to go into Father's Day. Is that what we're going to be doing? We're going to be working on the clouds on Father's Day, which is fine.
And we got a fun Home Depot trip out of it.
Yeah. Dude, you do a lot of texting while you talk. While you drive. You stress me out. Or not. I don't know if it's texting, but fucking with your phone.
Oh yeah, fucking with my phone.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm like, holding on to I'm like getting white knuckled on the side. I'm like, Joe's my life,
dude. My peripheral vision is fucking great.
I guess. I was like, man, God bless you. I wouldn't fuck around. Dude,
I'm so used to driving. I drive so much. I drive for hours and hours a week.
The most I'll ever do is this. And then I'm out. Like for those listening, like you look at your phone and it unlocks the notifications on the front screen. That's the most I'll ever do.
I know. I change tracks. I find new shit to look at.
Yeah,
I watch videos. That's why I watch videos. I watch videos while driving.
Yeah, that's a wild lifestyle, man. You're too tough for me. You probably use fabric hardener.
They call it spray starch. You iron the creases in your jeans when I lived in the South.
You know
what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Of
But like,
course, I looked at Pinkerton.
You say the South like that. The front row is so far away from here.
but it is.
I live in South Carolina.
Oh well, then that's different. Yeah.
But yeah, you definitely starch and iron your jeans. I remember that.
Oh, starchy Archies. That's what we used to call the kids. Just come in with their fucking
You gotta get a crease.
Yeah, if kids came in with their jeans, fucking be like, oh, look at them starchy Archies. Mama got a hold of them.
There was this local rap group back in Alabama.
Where you from?
They had a song. It was called Lax and Creases, Max and Creases. Because you got your Air Max on and you got your khakis with a crease.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty clever. They had T.I. on the song. It's the only reason they gained any notoriety.
That would be an interesting conversation to have, like local music acts.
I'm about done. That's about all. I mean, there's a couple other things.
We know Bobby Skullface.
Yeah. That's all we know.
He got like 5 tracks out. 6?
6? Dude, I'm like,
there's other stuff.
Half an album.
Yeah, there's other stuff out there if you search hard enough.
Yeah, that's actual albums.
Yeah. But then there's the Closets Almost aren't in operation. It looks great, but it has been taking up my entire life. But I'm glad. I like it is probably the most satisfying thing I've done for since probably that little table glass piece thing
from Christmas.
Yeah. It's because I know it was in shambles. It was always a fucking train wreck when you're in there. It looked like Katrina, like the levees broke right in there, and and now it's like fucking. It's nice. I was very nice, but I'm going to turn that a bit on its head for a second. We went to this wedding, and
let's just real quick. Let's get out of the way. How was the band? Because that was a big point of our conversation last week.
And the tailoring. How was the tailoring?
So I'll address both. The band was fine. The set was fucked.
Okay,
like so it wasn't all those songs.
It was, but like they just they didn't play all of them. So they pretty much they took a break every like 10 minutes, but like they pretty much played like most of the songs that I don't give a fuck about, and never really touched on the ones that I would have liked to have heard them play. But the one good thing is that I never heard them play Purple Rain, so I don't know whether or not I hate them.
That's the bar.
Were they serviceable? Like there was nothing bad enough to like.
So like they did Billie Jean, and it was fine.
Okay. Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah. And I got out there and cut a rug on Billie Jean, and then I would have liked to go out there and dance more. I like to dance, So I would have liked to go out there and dance more, but no other song ever came on that I ever wanted to get out there to. So I pretty much just hung out at the table. As far as the tailoring, suit was fine. And I'm going to I talk about this a bit on Wine Cheese, so I don't want to be too redundant, but they measure me for this shirt, right? And, like around your chest and, the whole bit, your sleeve. So I'm going to tie this back to Katrina.
Why? We didn't ask for that.
So, because I do this, Joe.
Because he can. That's why. Because
we just do things.
Because we have to listen. That's why.
So,
Audience.
We're packing all of our shit up to go to the hotel, and I realize I haven't tried this shirt on, and there's been issues with the pants.
They didn't listen to you.
So I went upstairs and I grabbed an extra shirt out of my closet and brought it down. And my wife was like, "What is that?" And I was like, "Look, I haven't tried that shirt on." And I was like, "I'm just playing it safe." And she gave me this look like, "You are the biggest fucking idiot in the entire America." And I was like, "Just trust me." So we get to the hotel. That's a whole nother story. I won't bore you with that. But we get there and we get into the hotel room. I put on the pants, money in the bank. Shorty, what you drank? Tuck my shit in, put my belt on, or lace it rather. Put the shirt on. Yo, that shit was tight as fuck. I'm talking about it was like the buttons were at war and they were banding together to try to hold back the levees.
There it is.
It was like each button and the corresponding hole that the button goes into were like gripping each other's fingers, like just at the like the guy getting ready to fall off the cliff and hold, brothers, hold.
Oh, Bobby, what size shirt was this that they put you in?
It's custom. It's tailored.
No, it wasn't custom. It wasn't custom.
It was like 32, 33.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'd have to look at it, but it said slim fit on it, and I never.
Okay.
So
that's a different vibe.
Yeah, it's cut like this.
Slim fit. Yeah.
So I looked at my wife. I was like, "This is not gonna work," and she was like, "Let me see it." And she was like, "You're probably uncomfortable in it." I was like, "Bitch, if you don't fucking cut this shirt off me."
I mean, they were expecting you to not eat, I guess.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. I couldn't have ingested one. I couldn't have taken an Advil. All the buttons would have
not a sip of wine.
Yeah, it would have given in. So luckily, I had my reserve unit. Popped that bad boy on. I was dressed like Satan in mass, but it was fine because it was a red shirt. And
I love me red shirts, man.
And I usually this one I had a purple, and it looked sharp. And I went through all this shit to get a fucking pocket square that was purple. Couldn't even fucking, you know what I mean? It's a whole fucking my luck, dude. But whatever. So it was sort of. Now the other thing is, what's funny is like is and this is tying into another conversation recently, but like so like. My wife, right? She's not a very good communicator. Like, that's not her strength. She's a doer. She's action over. Like, she'll get it done. Like, if like, I say that to say this, right? Like, one of the things that like we have talked about is the quote unquote love language, as it were, right? Mm-hmm. That like me, like I'm a cuddler, I'm a toucher, I'm a verbal person. Like I'm like, damn, you look good. Like or like what would a nice thing for you to do or whatever. She's like if she makes me a Caesar salad for lunch, like to go to work, she'll bag everything separately because she knows I like to control the ratio, and she doesn't want my croutons to get soggy in the lettuce.
That's a big move, right there.
Do you know what I mean? But that's her way of doing it.
Yeah.
But that's how she communicates. She's not good at actually talking. So like every now and then, it seems like because like she is good at like talking shit. You know what I mean? So like that she doesn't have a problem with. So like every now and then, it's like when you don't get the positive and you just always confronted with the negative, you start to develop a bit of a complex about it. And I actually had a conversation. I remember at one point I'm trying to act like an anorexic person in a pond right now and treading lightly, but dude, build the booth. Build it.
Buddy booth.
But anyway, if
It's not the booth, Joe. But soundproofing can work in both situations.
there have been times in my personal circles where the talk has come up of Bobby Skullface overtaking Bobby government name.
Yes.
You know, and I actually find more frequently than not it goes the other way, where like the character type shit of Bobby Skullface, people end up projecting that onto Bobby government name and then treat me that way.
Yeah.
So like I'm a fucking idiot. I can't do shit. I'm always like relaxing and kicking back, and you know what I mean? I'm a fucking just clumsying my way through life, right? Which is fine, except that sometimes I need you to also say like, yeah, but I also am doing this, and I also got that done, and I'm also pretty good at this, and I did, you know. So I say all that to say this: we're at a, it's a work buddy that's getting. My wife is being bombarded by people that like haven't, because we don't go out with that crowd very much because it's a wild crowd,
and
you
also,
know?
also COVID.
Also COVID, but I mean even before COVID.
Yeah,
it can be a wild crowd. It can also be very a cliche crowd in the sense of like the sports bar or whatever, like that I just don't have any interest in.
Right.
And so first time that she's hung around them in quite some time, and like all of these people are almost like lining up single file to get to her to be like, I just want you to know I fucking love your husband. Like that dude makes my fucking day go by. Like, and not to be confused with Dago, but that's where Luke landed. But like, not
Wow.
Build it. But like, but that's you know, like, and it's just like it's noticeable. It's a thing. So like, I'm kind of like, man, like, all right, you know, like, I want to like give me a little bit of. You know, it's like, how does that feel? She's like, oh, you're just so funny, and they just all love you, and just like all that. I'm like, man, goddamn it, be nice to me, goddamn it. Fuck. You know what I mean?
Can't win.
Yeah. And then let's see what else. I also watched Bad Batch. I've also been watching more Carl Pilkington, just because I've had like a lot of like late days, late nights, and like just like building the fucking closet and shit. Where it's like, look, let's just watch a half hour of this fucking show so we can laugh and go to sleep. And I think that's it. My screen time was down 32% this past week because I've been building closets and going to weddings. So that was nice. Do you guys get that report on Droids?
You can.
You can.
I don't
it
care
doesn't
enough
shove
to
it down our throats.
Yeah.
Like you know, other product.
I call it like you're a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit report.
But I use my phone for everything. Like I said, I watch videos while I'm driving, so like my screen time is nonstop. Like if I'm doing something in the background, when I say background noise, a lot of times it's on my phone.
So I mean,
yeah,
that's
like, it too.
Netflix
music
is on my phone.
Yeah, music, podcasts. Like I always have to deduct that. We do have a little bit of notes. Let's talk about. This is a bit out of order, which you know I'm not a big fan of. I like to go right in the order.
Nerd rage.
But these Masters of the Universe pictures that have surfaced of the show. Have you seen them at all?
I have not.
I would try to.
I have
Of
seen
the new show, that's
okay.
like a continuation of the old show that
yes.
Kevin Smith is behind. I think they look great.
It's fine.
You think it's fine?
It's fine.
I mean,
listen,
Bobby,
I
you don't even like well animated animations anymore.
Yeah, I don't really care.
I've never seen the 2000X show.
I like that show.
And honestly, at this point, I know it's not necessarily related to it, but the animation to me, it has more of that vibe.
I agree. I agree.
Old school stuff.
I agree.
It's better.
But I do feel like it is kind of somewhat of a blend. I think it's like in the style of 2000, but with the deco of the 80s.
That's probably a good way to say it.
So there's like a picture of it, Joe's Skeletor and
yeah. I
He-Man.
mean, so I think that's a good way to do things. So
There's a He-Man on Battle Cat.
yeah, it's very anime.
Tila.
Yep. It's like a new. It's kind of like
It looks a lot like the DC stuff to me.
Yasuke and Castlevania stuff. It's like the new like Americanized anime style. It's like it's a cross between the two.
Do you put the DC stuff in that? Because
yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Then say no more.
It's the same to me. It's like it's American cartoon, and I'm not saying it's an anime knockoff by any means.
Right. No,
it's
not
definitely a
that
style that has been developed through a hybrid of the both. The inspiration is obviously there from shit from anime.
And American animation seems to be generically that style, or stuff like Steven Universe, and
exactly,
very like simplistic drawing. Nothing wrong with the animation, but the style is just so drastically
because
different.
before that we had before the anime, I feel like influence, we had like Batman the animated series and X-Men, which was the American style of more mature animation.
And then you had Dexter's Laboratory and the Powerpuff Girls. That was almost kind of the same polar opposite to an extent.
Yeah.
That's did you guys know there's a Thundercats cartoon that's on right now?
Yes, that fucking
and it's that Steven
action.
Universe style anime. It's very.
I haven't seen it,
but I like the earlier the
2000s one.
Yeah, just like the He-Man. I like the animation style.
I own it and I haven't ever watched it. I
It's
need
pretty
to.
good.
I know I've heard that from a lot of people.
Are you saving it for a rainy day, Bobby?
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, if you need someone to hold your hand, I can always come over and watch it with you.
Will you dress up like Tigra?
Well, Krista just made a Tiger outfit like a couple weeks ago on stream.
Whoa.
A Tigra? Mm-hmm. I saw somebody do a fan art recently. I think it was on the Nerd Rage IG, which I'll go ahead and plug. But it was
it doesn't need your plug. It's doing plenty well. Doing better than us.
it needs to plug me. Goddamn it! It was Shatara, Tigra, and Cheetah together, like the three of them. Like it was pretty cool.
But I think aesthetically speaking, this is a upgrade. It's been like evolving, and I like this animation style, and I hope it keeps going.
I'm interested in the story of it, and I think it looks nice, so I'm good with it. But I wanted to also tie it into these toys, these new Masters of the Universe toys. What are your thoughts on that?
So it's very confusing.
Okay, I agree.
This is
so they showed how many? 4: Mossman, Evelyn, Teela, and He-Man.
A Skeletor, and then Super Skeletor.
Oh, of course.
Which is there's a and then on top of that,
why Moss Man?
They're also releasing a line aimed for kids called He-Man in the Masters of the Universe. That is a very different style of animation.
They keep doing this thing where they do they have the regular version and the kids version,
and then there's the figures that are in the stores now, which is kind of the reimagining of the originals, the 5.5s, but they have elbows and shit.
Right.
So it's very overwhelming, and you think about. Grandma asked, "Well, what's Bobby into?" I want a He-Man figure.
Well,
and
not this one.
Oh, this isn't the right He-Man. So it's market confusion to me.
I agree.
A total screw up from Mattel's point.
I hate the Evil Lyn design.
Did you see it with and without the headdress?
No, but the pants.
Oh, okay.
It's like she's sexy.
What did I ask?
You can't take the sexiness away from that character. You start to kill who that character is. There's certain characters, specifically female characters, that have a sex appeal to them.
I mean, it's like you don't put a shirt on He-Man.
Yes,
I think.
And they've changed the Iron Cross that was on his chest forever is now an H.
Well, so that is a little weird. You know what I mean?
The Iron Cross has connotations in historical horribleness. Historical horribleness. Plus Triple H. So
who started this shit? Is it Teen Titans Go or fucking Transformers Rescue Bot?
Good question.
But you know what I'm talking about with the kids version?
Yes.
Superhero Squad.
I would say probably Teen Titans Go was
that shit is super popular.
Super popular. Super fan
Transformers
popular.
is not.
No.
Pyramid money.
I mean, this is the thing that they worry that name brands are talking about not wanting KOs to do, which is brand confusion. You're doing it to your fucking self.
Yeah.
But
I mean, look, they're not the only. I mean, look, you go to the toy aisle right now. If you know, get Bobby and Optimus Prime, and you get that there is a kid line of Transformers.
Right.
So I may be speaking a little out of turn here,
but you can't put the Baroness in a fucking muumuu. You know what I mean? It's like there's a sex appeal.
They put Psylocke in pants. It's fine.
I bet you that. First of all, I bet you the pants were sexy.
I mean, it's
Did they have fitted? Did they have iron pleats? Iron.
And secondly, I bet you it's not as sexy as I bet you I prefer the other one. I don't know.
I like the X-Force uniform.
But like,
And,
even
it makes
I
more
remember they
sense,
gave her
man.
one leg and not the. Yeah, I'm good with that. But I don't need this shit to make sense. Really, it's like a fucking. This guy looks like a little blue goblin.
It's very true in that pose, especially.
But he's also Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah,
Respect.
that's true. Respectfully. Fuck you, respectfully. I've seen all sorts of shit, wild shit with that shit thrown in there. But yeah, like
Wonder Woman to put in pants. She wearing
yeah,
pants right there.
and it failed. They put her in pants, and they had to take them back. They had to take them back off because people were like, "Man, fuck this." And actually, I like that was when she went through the pants and jacket phase. And actually, I didn't mind the jacket so much, but
no pants, jacket, no pants. That's the vibes you like.
yeah, that's how I feel when I see you motherfuckers walking around with shorts and sweatshirts.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Make up your fucking mind.
It's pretty much any kid in high school.
Dude, my grandma used to hate that look if I ever tried to rock it. She'd be like, "What? I don't get it. Your legs are hot, your arms are cold." Fucking, it's like she hated it.
And Bobby hasn't taken a hoodie off since then. It's 80 degrees outside today. Bobby's got on a fucking black hoodie.
June to August.
No, this is my June hoodie. It's it's older, so it's thinner.
June to August is when I come out of the hoodie. Let's see what else. But yeah, I just think that like it's just like one of those iconic things. Like it's like even like her headdress, right? Like it's an iconic thing.
That's kind of a good representation of it.
It's like the fucking dinosaur in Jurassic Park.
The Dilophosaurus. Eat your heart out. Eat your heart out, Phil.
He wishes he could be here to say that name.
Yeah, he'll come back and be like, "It's Dilophosaurus."
There's a hard R in there, Bobby.
But yeah, I just think that so I was considering if her figure looked good, I was considering doing like a small, like one of those little shelves, like a small Evil Lynn collection, because she had a big impact on my formidable years. But I'm not going to do it now because I don't like her. I don't like the look.
The Moss Man's not flocked.
It's not velvety.
The Target exclusive might be later. Or
yeah, you got to flock the shit out of that thing. All right, and then let's see what else. So the Snake Eyes.
I don't know how I feel about this.
I know.
Did you guys watch the trailer?
Why do you hate Asian culture so much,
bro? I mean, he's not even fully Asian. I don't know. I actually don't know, but I know people have talked about it. Like they're not Asian enough. It's like, the one time you get it's like
that's like the colorism.
The one time you get a black president is a half black president. You know, like the one time you get an Asian to be a star is a half Asian. I'm like, I don't care. Honestly, like it's Asian enough for me.
But you kind of want him to be white.
Not that one, but it's just like
story wise.
Exactly, right. Story wise, he's a white guy.
Right.
So I guess it's best. I get it. Dude, calculated move. This guy is white and Asian, right? So if you get a mixed guy, that's both worlds.
Best of both worlds.
You're not allowed to sing that anymore, Bob.
I know. I'm sorry.
I do love that song.
I
love that whole album.
No, it's the only song I like on that album.
But like, is this the same universe as the other?
That has not been stated.
I hope not.
Because it looks like it, right?
It does.
The vibes look like it. So like,
and it doesn't look good to me.
But then it's a completely different character.
Too. Yeah,
it doesn't look good to me.
The trailer for an action movie.
You're just.
I'm not expecting much, dude. Why do people expect G.I. Joe to be anything other than
blowing shit up?
Yeah, blowing shit up.
Karate.
But you can blow shit up and still have it be good.
Yeah. You're right.
I'm for the listeners. I'm waving to my SH Fig Watch Marvel Cinematic Universe
I
shelf.
don't put them in the same fucking. I don't know why. I don't put the Marvel comic book universe and G.I. Joe's the cartoon universe in the same fucking.
And I think it's because of the fiction.
Right. You can elevate it though. You can elevate the fiction, and people have. I would imagine. I mean, I've read a good G.I. Joe comic. Emphasis on A. But I have.
There's plenty in the original Marvel run. There's some fantastic stories.
Right. So like that's my thing. Is like and there's plenty of goofy ass Marvel shit that I can. Hey baby.
What's up, baby?
Where's mommy?
Mommy went to take Jaina to get braces. Okay, check. And then she's gonna drop something off and pick up a prescription for your teeth.
Medicine,
yeah.
Did you have a cheesecake?
No, she did not. She did not. I don't think she forgot. Selena lost her snack, or she would have had. She would have had some yesterday.
Unfortunate.
Yep.
You have baby teeth now. Just rot them all out. It's fine.
No, do not do that. Do not listen,
dude. You're gonna grow new teeth. Did you know that? You get a whole other set of teeth coming out. No, it's good. Replacement teeth.
You
man.
just ruined this child.
Yeah. So she'll be home soon. All right. Is Selena upstairs?
I checked everywhere.
Is she supposed to be upstairs? ...
I think so. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, Laura has her. Trust the force. Chris was like, you might want to delete that either way. Yeah, I think you could. I think you can elevate. I think you can elevate. I think you. But I also feel like it is the lowest common denominator to go the way that they're going. But as a result, while it may engage I think very fair weather fan service or fair weather kind of audience. I'm not at all interested.
I will tell you, the G.I. Joe collecting community was not happy with the
trailer.
I'm just talking about the toy because they revealed the freaking toys before they ever did the trailer. I did watch.
Man. I watched it for a ninja. It's a ninja movie.
I did watch. Wherever I watched the trailer, the first thing that popped up after the trailer, there was an interview with Larry Hama, who wrote all the bios for every figure.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
that's cool.
He wrote the comic for years and years. It was kind of like, it wasn't a punishment when they said, I need you to write this war book. I think they were working on like Sergeant Rock or something, and they kind of transitioned it over to, okay, let's give these guys. And he's who fleshed out everything. He was actually involved in this writing process. Okay. So like I saw are you familiar with the hard master and the soft master and all that stuff?
I'm the hard master.
No, okay.
For sure.
Are you seriously don't know those characters?
No.
So that was very. They were the ninja masters essentially.
Okay.
In the there was a blind master too.
Jinx. I'm kidding.
Jinx. Yeah.
So I did see the blind master in the trailer. So yeah. I thought that was cool.
I mean, who knows? It might be good. You just
don't like it because the Baroness has short hair.
Oh, I don't even know if I picked up. I saw Scarlet.
She's got like shoulder length hair.
Oh, I saw the toy.
Yeah. It's based on a real person. In this particular instance,
based on a real person.
She's real Bobby.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I don't think I was enthused with the other Baroness either, like because there was another one, right?
Yeah, from the first movie, it was. What was? Yeah.
She's pretty hot.
I don't know if it did it for me. I can't remember, so I could be wrong. But it's not. It didn't
that
even
first
lasting
Joe
impression.
Was weird. It was just strange.
Very strange.
Also very bad.
The second one was. I mean,
it was actually better.
You put The Rock in it. Come on.
I mean, it was better.
Also bad.
I thought it was a lot better.
It had a better, more solid and grounded story.
I like that they killed Duke like in the first scene.
They didn't fucking melt the fucking Eiffel Tower for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
And have like missiles in space and shit.
The third Transformers movie is also better than the fifth, but
who's counting?
The third. Which one is the third?
The Dark Side of the Moon.
I like Dark Side of the Moon, man.
It's my favorite of the five.
I can't tell you if you showed me
the third one and the first one
a clip from any of those movies. I could tell you which one it was from.
Depending on the clip, I would not be able to.
I mean, if Mark,
wow.
If Marky Mark's in it, I know it's one of the later ones. But
I can probably tell you, I've watched all those movies multiple times, except for the last one.
That last one is really rough. It's the worst.
Is that the last? Is that the
Last Night? Or
the Last Night's the last movie.
Yeah.
Well, Bumblebee technically.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
It was okay.
The Bumblebee was alright, yeah. But other than that, the first four I can watch. The first three I can definitely rewatch over and over again.
Yeah, I cannot. I can watch them every once in a while.
It's because you don't like the designs, and I actually do.
Yeah, that's going to make a huge. That's going to make a huge difference.
Yeah.
All right, and then we have one more note, and then some questions. Just that Warner Media has been sold again from AT&T to Discovery.
It's not as clear cut as that sentence you just said, and that's the headline.
Here's the key points. It says under the agreement, AT&T said it would receive an aggregate amount of $43 billion in a combination of cash, debt, and Warner Media's retention of certain debt.
Give me that debt, bro.
Discovery shareholders would own 30% of the new company. Telecom giant AT&T announced Monday a deal to combine its content unit Warner Media with Discovery, paving the way for one of Hollywood's biggest studios to compete with media giants Netflix and Disney.
Now, does Warner Media outright own Detective Comics?
I don't know.
Does that mean that Joanna Gaines could be in the DC universe now?
Well, what I need to know is how
Pawn Stars.
So, like, we only got the Snyder Cut because AT&T bought. That's the only reason why we got it.
Okay.
So, now what that has taught me is that anytime this shit trades hands, it opens possibilities for some things and could very well close possibilities for other things. And so that's my long-lasting question with this stuff. It does seem like whatever's happening over there is in turmoil.
It also could fuck my wrestling shit up because they own TNT, and that's where my favorite wrestling program comes on.
Yeah, if you think about like the major media corporations,
conglomerates.
I mean, that's the right way to put it. It seems like Warner is the only one in trouble. Like Sony seems to be doing fine.
They have PlayStation.
Universal owns the world.
Yeah,
and then
Universal they own the universe.
And then there's Warner.
Yeah.
And I guess you have to mention Disney in that mix yet, but I don't even know if Disney's on the level of those three in terms of like all of the pies that they have their fucking finger. I don't know.
Don't forget about Lionsgate, Bobby.
I'm sure Lionsgate's owned by one of them.
I don't know.
Who has New Line Cinema?
New Line Cinema is Warner.
Yep.
Of course, it's in trouble. Then.
I know
New Line Cinema. Come on.
I know this.
No, but New Line has some great fucking movies, man.
Mortal Kombat, 1995.
Freddy.
1987? I don't know. I just came out with a number.
Turtles.
1992?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, 90, I think. But yeah, I'm sure there's others.
Hellraisers.
Yeah.
1990, whatever.
Yeah, true.
Actually, it looks like they are their own entity.
Oh, dude, indie.
I have been told through the grapevine that they are incredibly difficult to work with from a licensing.
Really? I will also. I can tell you one thing I know about Lionsgate. I can believe that. I'll tell you one thing I know about them is that they were one of the first people to get into Baltimore Comic Con, and Baltimore, back when Baltimore Comic Con was the shit, they used to make those motherfuckers wait outside. You know, because it was like we're not letting Hollywood in here.
Comics, yeah, back in the day.
You know?
I mean, it was all comics, man.
Yeah.
It was just the whole floor of comics.
So then we have some questions. And
what's that email one more time for everybody?
That is nerdrageradiomail@gmail.com.
All one word.
No spaces, no hyphens,
no
underscores, no underscores. So this isn't a question, but Ryan, Minister Ryan, the good minister,
yes, sir.
He wrote in and said, yes, Tenet was good.
Okay, still thinking on it.
He said, what's up, fellas? Bobby's Tenet talk got me. I loved the movie when I first saw it, but I respected the fact that I didn't get everything the first time. I love sci-fi and major in-time travel movies, and I've seen them all at this point. This one takes the cake. Yes, cakes. Usually I can punch holes in the story or some sort of the story doesn't line up, but this one, I don't see anything. Not one inconsistency. The concept alone was so crazy that I felt like I had to miss the inconsistency, so I'm definitely going to watch it again, but it was perfect. Made me actually look more into Nolan. I know I've seen his stuff, but I'm not a director-writer guy, but realized this dude has co-written almost all my favorite movies, and they're all high-level stuff. So much respect, more than before, to Nolan now in my head canon, Minister Ryan. So, yeah, like I said, I know it's good.
It's a better time travel movie than Time Cop, though?
Good question. The world may never know.
It's funny he brought Nolan. I actually watched Batman Begins recently, and I think to mention it, and I started The Dark Knight, and god damn, that's some good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It holds up. It's holding up just fine. The suits are a bit dated.
Yeah.
Even he says 3 buttons is a bit 90s, Mr. Wayne. I'm like,
yeah.
I mean, actually maybe back around there.
It all rolls back around.
Tyler G said, how's it hanging, Nerd Rage crew? So firstly, I wanted to let Joe know that a while ago I was listening to the show, and hearing you talk about 40K sparked my interest into the hobby again. I started a Tau army because people said, you're a Tau, because people said they're the Gundams of the 40K universe, and I'm a fan of both. So I included a picture of one of my most recent projects, which is a fusion-bladed Cold Star Commander.
Okay.
Dude, nerd. Kit bashed with some Gundam pieces. You'll notice it's still a work in progress, so trust me when I say I can relate to not having enough time. But you guys inspired me to peek back into 40K, so
awesome.
I thought it appropriate to share with you work that I would. Yeah, I'd love to see it.
Let's see it.
Wouldn't it possible? It's this unit here. I'll tell you, like, while your modeling and stuff may be great, you do need to work on the focus button on your camera. Because it is nothing.
Oh, yeah, I like this. I like some of that. But yeah, no focus, sir. Put it against a solid color background, please.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love the 40K.
That's dope.
I've stopped working on 40K stuff since I started drawing because I can't do more than one thing at a time. But my love for 40K and the 40K world has not diminished. I still keep up with the news. Oh, dude, orc players aside, I don't know you guys. I'm not talking to you guys.
Right.
You guys look at me like I'm crazy. But orc players, congratulations. Can I say congratulations? After being neglected for 30 years now, you're getting new fucking scopes finally, and they look fucking phenomenal.
Nice. I got a soft spot for
like
orcs.
Space Marines has had like literally 4 or 5 iterations of like rescopes and new kits. Orc are using the same kits from like the 90s.
So is
Eldars are, dude, they are using old ass metal miniatures still.
Are Space Marines the Optimus Prime of the 40K?
Basically,
Okay.
they're supposed to shout, even though they're supposed to be like the fewest, like the elite. Imagine like
that's what
buying
people like.
GI Joes, but like there's no regular soldiers. It's just Navy SEALs everywhere. Everyone just buys a Navy SEALs. No regular soldiers to be seen in any fucking table.
They're the linchpin of the canon of the universe.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm happy for
Nice.
Orc people, and I hope Eldars would get the same treatment next.
So he says, on to my question. What are your top 5 picks for iconic characters that can never be voiced or portrayed by another actor or actress? Let's not do 5. Let's just sit, don't constrain.
Don't limit us.
No, yeah, exactly.
No limit.
It's probably
That's the thing, right?
no limit records, yeah. The tank and so forth. Some examples that come to mind are Optimus Prime, Peter Cullen, Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds. I feel like these guys bring life to their characters in a way no one else can. I can tell you that when I see a Transformers cartoon and Optimus Prime isn't voiced by Cullen, I'm already checked out.
Yeah.
Because even though I'm not from the 80s or even the biggest G1 fan, Prime is Cullen and Cullen is Prime. Thanks for taking the time to read all that. Been a listener since early 2018, and you've never disappointed. Keep up the great work.
Thank
Good
you.
work.
We'll keep trying.
Tyler G. Thank you, Tyler.
For me, like any portrayal of like live action Batman has been fine with me, but if it's an animated Batman, it has to be
Kevin Conroy.
It
Yeah,
has
that's
to
a
be. If
good
it's
one.
not him, it fucks me up.
Yep, I agree. I'm also on board with Cullen.
Yep.
James Earl Jones is Vader. Like when they bring in a different Vader voice, like
No,
in the
you
Clone
can
Wars
tell.
and shit, it's not
the
him. It doesn't matter. It's like it's never
Because
close
there's
enough.
always someone impersonating him.
Yeah.
Same with Optimus
Yeah.
Prime. It's never your own take on Optimus Prime. It's like you
Yeah.
have to try to be, Colin.
Robert Englund is Freddy.
Yes.
Like I liked the little reboot Freddy they did. I actually enjoyed it.
I want to watch it.
But it never felt like Freddy to me. Like his voice and his mannerisms. Like it's a certain swag.
Same with Pinhead.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because they have had multiple Pinheads.
Yes,
now, and
yes.
They don't. It's not just the voice. It's like the whole thing.
Yeah.
Pinhead's Pinhead.
I don't
Bradley.
know how I'll feel about an old Professor X not being played by Jean-Luc Picard. You know,
Just kinda grew
when
up
that
with
time comes. Because if anything, I grew up with that visualization. You know,
So I like Hamill as Joker a lot, but I don't know if I'm married to it. I'm not sure if I have to have him as an animated Joker.
Oof.
Like I have to think about that.
Yeah, I don't know. I got to see another option
right.
because the other options haven't been great.
No, they haven't.
Like for animated.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm talking about. Like,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
animated
yeah,
only,
yeah,
because we're talking about voices.
Right.
if
Yeah.
somebody else was doing the beeps and the bloops for R2D2, I'd probably feel away about it.
Chewie?
If Anthony Daniels is another one, if somebody else plays that character.
And I'll tell you, keeping on Star Wars, like whoever the dude was that did the voice of Darth Maul in the movie, and he had some falling out with Lucas. Like they hate each other.
Yeah,
So
surprise.
so he was
Weird.
so he was never used again. And they got the other guy to do him now, which is fine.
Is Ray Park doing the voice himself now?
No, it's some other guy. And like
He must talk like this. Hey, I'm Ray Park. I can do flips.
but like that guy in that first movie, that like his voice is like
At last we'll get our revenge.
yeah,
Whatever,
it's like if a butter stick was made out of a razor blade.
It's a violent.
Wow.
It's not
bars. Bodyproof.
It's not a careless whisper. It's a violent whisper.
Yeah, but like that's a voice that's like super iconic to me. I would imagine that the Emperor too. Like I don't think I feel cold. I think
Do it.
Yeah, do it.
So wait.
Good day, mate.
Way to save that one. You brought that back. Congratulations.
Play the long game on it. Yeah, I think that's. I don't know. There's a
I mean,
moment
he
that-
hit the nail on the head with the two he said. you know?
Yeah,
Prime
yeah.
and
Yeah, and I mean Deadpool. I mean, I'm down to see some other options. I do think that Ryan Reynolds does embody that character.
I don't like the video game Deadpool. There's
Oh,
someone
yeah,
else who
yeah,
he's
yeah,
voiced
yeah,
Deadpool in
yeah,
all
yeah.
the games. I'm not a fan. I like him as a voice actor, but I don't like that take of Deadpool.
Yeah, you know what? Like, I think the only person that's done Gambit right is the animated one. Like this, like his, like you know, and
extra sauce on that shit.
and from the '90s, like,
Yeah,
because when
yeah.
they did the Wolverine and the X-Men,
No,
that
it's not-
Gambit's not as
not
good.
the same.
And then the one in the fucking Wolverine movie didn't even try. You know what I mean? He's just like they're like, hey, like, do you want to go fight the bad guys? He's like, oui, mon ami.
I don't even remember Gambit being in that.
Yeah, he was in it.
Which movie?
Origins. X-Men Origins.
Is that the one that's in?
The one where he fights Deadpool.
Oh, that. Okay.
The other Deadpool.
Yeah, I don't know if that's allowed to be watched in my brain anymore.
Yeah. So yeah, those are the ones that stick out kind of instantly to me. So KFC wrote in again.
Hell yeah.
And
yeah.
And he said,
Did you get more stuff from KFC yet?
No, not yet. I don't even know where we stand. Like, I you know what I mean? I don't know.
They didn't talk to you after you released your first video?
No.
Oh, I don't know.
It might be over.
Bad.
I didn't think you were harsh. I mean, you were realistic. I don't think you were harsh.
But you should know that.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
what you should expect.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey guys, my question for you guys: is there any franchise you collected, then stopped for whatever reason, and then got back into years later and realized it still wasn't good? My example is I used to collect Beast Wars all the way to Armada in my younger days, and then got to that age where I thought I shouldn't be getting toys anymore. What brought me back to the Transformers was the Combiner Wars Devi. Thought it looked awesome, bought it, and when it was on sale, it made me want to get back into it and started getting the other Combiners. And when I put them next to Devi, I thought, what the fuck is this shit? Combiner Wars was the last main line I bought until these Beast Wars Kingdom toys. Side question for Pinkerton. I'll
answer the first one there.
Yes, let's answer the first one first. Do you have anything off top? I'll tell you the ones that I think the thing that I've collected the most and quit the most is 40K.
Same. I think it's a normal thing. Any 40K fan has quit at least once in their life.
I mean, I've quit
and come back.
probably 3 or 4 times.
I think that's usual. I've quit like 3-4 times.
Yeah.
I can't think of. I mean, I can't think of anything I've gone back. You know what? I sold my Star Wars 6-inch and bought more Star Wars 6-inch, and you know where it is now in a fucking box.
Now
I
you got
haven't touched
the
it.
Studio Series. It's a Transformer.
Yeah. But you know what? I brought this point up. Those are fun. They're easy to get.
Yeah.
And if I'm done with it, I'll just fucking give them away because I don't care.
Right.
It's $20.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's like the main one. But even that, like to say to come back and it still wasn't good, I don't know if I've ever had that. Like, because even when I come back to 40K, I'm like, oh, this is good. I remember what's good about this.
Yes. Because usually people don't quit because it's not good.
Well, I
People
think,
quit 40K for other reasons.
Yeah.
I think part of the reason that what he's explaining, I think you expect a certain level of nostalgia to make things better, and it doesn't. A lot of the shit we grew up watching was garbage.
Oh, well.
And
in that regard,
that's all we know.
I rewatched the entire Masters of the Universe cartoon series probably like 10 years ago.
Oh, so you saw all 3 of the backgrounds.
Yeah. I will never touch that shit again.
I'm surprised you finished it.
Ever. It's awful.
Like, how did you
It's
push through
awful.
it?
It's a formula to a fault.
It's
like they just plug stuff in.
and the characters are dumb. The voices are dumb. The drama is dumb. Like, it's not good. But the universe is cool. That's what's cool about Masters of the Universe is the universe itself is cool. So that's why 2000 He-Man is so important because it actually struck lightning in a bottle and fucking said, "Here's a cool story in a cool universe." Yeah. But it's fucking bad, dude. And there's this
Mechanic, come on now.
There's this one episode where he's stroking the sandcastle, and I'm telling you, like,
Giving it
double handing it.
like you wish somebody would stroking this castle.
I mean, you saw the toys that made us on that or that Grayskull. Those guys were just. I mean, Ram Man's called Ram Man because it's Ram Man.
Yeah, and what was it? They wanted to call
Seaman.
Seaman.
Yeah.
It's fucking great. I love in those toys that made us when those Barbie chicks are like,
Yeah, dude, those bitches.
Cutthroat.
and they were like, if we were in there now, we'd shut that brat shit down.
They're bad people. Like they're actually bad human beings.
There's a question out there, like, in order to be super successful at something, can you also be a good person?
Probably not.
I'm not sure.
Probably not. I mean, depending on the level of success, right? You can probably be a successful one store business owner. Can you be a franchise owner, like multiple franchise owner, and be a good person? Probably not.
Right.
Being a good person is kind of like telling me what my pain level is. It's all about your perspective.
So, side question for Pinkerton: were you ever hit Bobby and Joe with the Shockwave voice?
It's something I do on ETR. So my thought is Shockwave is just Megatron's bitch. He left him on Cybertron.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can get it because it takes a minute. It's kind of hard on my voice. Lord Megatron! Megatron, your laundry is ready.
He does kind of have a Butler-esque kind of vibe to him.
Is this space bridge really just a laundry chute for your panties? Lord Megatron.
He says, great work and looking forward to 300 next week.
Nice. Anytime Shockwave comes up on ETR and it's normally a legend scale figure,
Of course.
I always do
Awesome.
that. Yeah.
Jake C. How's it going, guys? Hope you're doing well. With all the talk over cover bands and cover songs as of late, are there any covers of songs that, in your opinion, are better than the original? For example, the Chris Cornell version, may he rest in peace, oh, God bless the dead, of Guns N' Roses' Patience is 100% superior to the original, in my opinion, as well as Buck Cherry's version of that really, really annoying I crashed my car off a bridge, I don't care pop song that used to be on the radio constantly. If you talked about this previously, I apologize. Thanks for your time, guys. Keep up the good work. Better.
I think I like Johnny Cash's cover of Hurt.
Yeah, it's
dude, all right.
preferences
Tasty
versus
Taint.
betters.
What'd you say?
No, I
Tasty
like
Taint.
I like that cover a lot too, but I don't know if it's better. Because sometimes it's preference. Like I prefer Holy Diver by Killswitch Engage more than the original, which is Dio.
Yeah.
By far, but I don't think it's better. I don't know.
I can't think of any that are better. There's some that I like equally.
What about
I mean, Five Finger Death Punch is Nickelback for alcoholic stepdads, but I like their cover of
Bad Company. But I like
I don't
Bad
know if
Company's
I don't
version,
know,
though.
but that's the thing. It's like, but a lot of covers are just completely different vibes,
Right.
Like
Puff
there's
Daddy's I've been missing you versus
That's
the
not a
police?
cover.
That's
not
not
a
a
cover.
cover.
That's a sample.
That's
an
an
heavy
interpolation.
sample.
Interpolation.
There's a band, I believe they're called the Wolves, that covered "Zombie" by
Cranberries.
and Dolores O'Riordan, I believe is her name. She passed away, I believe.
Yeah,
and
God bless
she
dead.
was supposed to be on that track with them,
That would have been cool.
and like
Damn.
they went ahead and did it as a tribute to her.
I always go back to So here's the thing. Like, so Tori Amos has a cover of "Losing My Religion," but I like it. I like it just as much. See, but here's the thing: it's like if I'm bummed out, I like her version more.
Do you know what that song? Do you know what that means?
Yeah. But if it's no, I'm stalking that woman and all that is the story to that song. It was about a stalker. That song is about this woman that he was stalking. Michael Stipe.
Yeah, I guess I was more along the terms "losing my religion." It just basically means that, boy, I'm losing my religion over this shit. That's it's a Southern term.
Oh, it's a Southern term. No, I didn't know
They're
that.
from Georgia.
Yeah, but at any rate,
Coca-Cola's from.
and Lightning Crashes people. They're from like Pennsylvania and not too far from us. Where were they? Where was it? Live.
Yes,
Live.
yes.
To the floor.
Yeah, that shit is depressing.
Yeah. But anyway, like I like her version if I'm sad more than I like the regular version.
And I
but
think-
but on a day like today, I like his version better than her version. And then like Sweet Dreams, if I'm just vibing by myself, I'm going with the Manson one all the time. But if I'm in party mode, I'm 100% with the Eurythmics. Like, like that's where it is for me. It's like there's some that I like as much, but I don't know if there's anywhere else like, man, I like this better than the original.
And sometimes I don't want to say that it's better because I don't want to disrespect the original.
Well, because at some point, like the truth is, like, you don't have this without the original.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like which one? Florence's Stand By Me. Like, since I've found that one, I don't listen to the original anymore, even
Right.
though I do love the original.
She covered a Drake song.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and it's fucking good.
I mean, she can't do anything wrong.
Yeah, she's a beast.
Really.
Whitney Houston covering "I Will Always Love You" by Dolly Parton.
Yeah, also great.
Dude, I mean, that's become the version now.
That made Dolly Parton's career. Like the money she made.
Oh,
off
100%.
That she said it. That made my career.
That one.
That's probably
That
the
one might be one.
I mean, Dolly can go. But
Yeah, for
she
sure,
can't- She
for
ain't,
sure.
She ain't with, and she
Yeah.
admits it. She's like, I could never hit those notes.
Yeah,
and I'm not going to try.
That might be the one. But and I like Dolly Parton's version. But if that might be the one where I'm like, no, this is just a better performance.
Do you
of
think?
this
Yeah,
song.
Do you think?
thing, yeah.
Do you think Dolly's ever at a party and there's people talking and she says, "Pardon the interruption"?
had to with her chest out.
Oh, definitely.
Jesus.
It doesn't go. It
Sideways.
doesn't go another way, Bob.
And then last question was from Matt H. Hey lads, the show has been stellar as of late. Congratulations on 300 episodes. I guess this is Maryland.
Did 300 come out yet?
Keep
I don't
up.
even know
No,
what
next
episode-
week. Next week.
Okay.
Keep
Well,
up.
we're on 299 right now?
Yep.
Oh,
Keep up the great work. Thank you, Bobby, for the wealth of content. Now for the questions. Do you guys think creatives owe their fans anything? I am specifically talking about G.R.R. Martin, the author of Game of Thrones books. He has stated multiple times that his next book is coming out soon. Dates have come and gone and no fucking book. Does he owe a reason or at least an excuse? He is starting other projects and still hasn't completed his series. The issue for me is that he keeps giving the dates and never delivers, or at least comes up with an excuse. Him looking like a fucking sea captain. That's also very true. That dude does look like a fucking sea captain.
And he apparently lives in like a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 2-bath house in like a cul-de-sac.
Dude, I have many opinions on. Well, I don't know. I have many feelings about this because, like, several very, I don't know, important is the word thing. Important fiction in my life are tied into this, and
yeah, you've talked about this before. Because
Berserk is one of them. All right, Battle Chasers, especially now that I'm back into D&D. Like, I want, objectively speaking, I want to say the artist doesn't owe the fans anything. Any creator of anything doesn't owe the consumer anything, right? You don't own them. They're making things that you happen to like. If they stop making it, tough shit. It's not yours.
Right.
Well, but as a consumer, I'm like, bruh,
come
on.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I agree.
Do you think that two things here? Do you think that he has George R.R. Martin? What the fuck? Georgie boy has
Dressed like a fucking sea captain.
exactly. I need that hat. I need that hat. Captain and Tennille.
That's kind of
hold
Scientology
it
guy.
to
That
him.
guy was the captain too, right?
Yes.
No.
Do you think he feels? I mean, obviously, the show continued and finished the way it did,
Right.
And I cannot imagine myself ever reading those books.
No,
I just can't imagine.
Oh, God. I got to get Coruscant Nights done first.
Oh, dude, you brought it up. Dude, we're getting somewhere. Pick it up. We're getting somewhere. This is first step. He's acknowledging that he has a problem.
I've actually said to my wife, like, she's like, "Do you want to read this?" And I'm like, I can't read any novels until I get these fucking things done.
But that's going to be his excuse of not reading ever again.
I've ruined the written word for you, Bobby. Do you think that? I mean, I haven't read the books, and I know that the show just kind of ends the way it ends, and those characters are still alive and kicking, and the ones that have died. Do you think a part of him is just like, fuck, nobody's going to be happy with this?
That's the problem.
Nobody's going to be happy with
I'm
what
sure.
happens here.
I'm sure. Shout out to Esteban, who must protect at all costs.
At all costs.
He put up a meme recently that said, like, it was like all of her quotes throughout the show.
Oh, I saw that.
You saw that?
And then I did it.
Yeah, it was like, we will burn down the kingdom. I will destroy the castles. I will I'll do all this, and then like she does it, and people are like, "Well, it came out of nowhere."
Didn't see it happening. The other thing I wanted to make point of, and the reason I know this is because the authors of the Expanse series, which my dad gave me all the paperbacks I had ordered for him, so I have this much Expanse, 2 feet worth of Expanse to read. One of the writers in there worked with Martin, and not Martin from the TV show. Not that guy. Although they may have worked together.
Joe curled his lip like Elvis Presley.
Shanae, dude, I watched the show, man.
You could never.
Everybody did,
but you couldn't do that today. But that book series is written by a committee. It's not just it isn't that dude. It's not like Misery. It's not that dude with the fucking click clack typewriter. Right. They have a writer's room.
Yeah.
And it's. I mean, I can only imagine how hostile that's gotten as this book continues to get delayed.
Yeah.
But I guess I didn't realize how many people were.
I get that the fact that he's putting dates out.
That's the bullshit part. I'm saying you should not be putting out dates. Like with Berserk, like it's bullshit because he's too busy playing video games to finish to keep drawing or whatever. But like he's like, well, time for hiatus again. No fucking time of when the next chapter is gonna come out. Just hiatus again, and then we all just eat them. Like I just fucking hiatus again.
Just gotta start. We
got 3 chapters last year, guys.
You gotta wait till the pantry gets empty, and then he goes and starts working on another.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like I think so. But like the good part about it is that like the story and the art has not diminished. It doesn't feel like he's just cashing in when he needs to.
Right.
Like when he does put the pen to paper, it's still art.
Yeah, I get both sides of it, but I do feel for the frustration of it all. Like,
'cause it's a little bit different, right? 'Cause as an artist, as a creator, because you're doing your thing and people are buying into it. But at the same time, if you look at it as from the point of employment, like you are working for the people. They're paying you money to do the thing, right?
Yep.
And you're not doing the thing people are paying you to do.
But you also, if it takes you, I guess it depends if the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
So like if it takes him 10 years to write this last book or whatever it is, and then it's fucking perfect,
Yes.
then worth it. But the more you delay it, the more that shit's got to be tight.
Yep. And
Yeah.
but also the point is like you're not gonna be able to make everyone happy.
That's
There's
true.
some works that are like that.
That's true. He said, what do you guys do to combat hobby burnout? I just don't feel motivated to hobby right now and can't seem to get out of my own fucking way. Any suggestions on how to combat that? Joe, you really need to watch Nightbreed. Also, how goes the 40K stuff?
40K stuff, what's going great? Like I said, my love for it hasn't stopped. It's just I picked up a new thing. Well, and that's the answer to your question. Like pick up do something different.
Yeah, sometimes you just need a break of something to do something else.
Go back to it.
Yeah, I agree. What about you? Because you
Or-
kind of I guess are at the most jeopardy, most at risk
But you get
to be
paid for it, though.
burned out. Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily help.
Because that's not a hobby. It's your job, right?
Well, it's that
right?
balance. You got to be able to strike that balance.
I often debate with myself if have I ruined my hobby by getting into the business of this hobby. But that's just who I am. I mean, if I love something, I'm going to delve into it, and then I'm probably going to try to figure out how to make a buck off of it. Must tell you about how much I like doing this with you guys, right? I bounce between things. You know, I've got these 3D printers set up now, so I've been investing in that. I bought some files. I'm going to try to do some printing and stuff on there. Honestly, I try to do something that's not Crashbox. I know that sounds dumb, but that's kind of why I want to get the PS5. I want to try to play some games or something just to unwind and because I mean, just sit and watch TV is all I do. But I don't know.
Something active that you do that's not fucking Crashbox.
Or sometimes, like if you're like whatever you're doing, if you're in a rut with it, watch some fiction that's got something to do with what you're doing. Like if I'm in a rut, like creatively for Crashbox, I'm like, fuck, let's watch Lord of the Rings again. Yeah. Or just something that that's cool. That's cool. I'm gonna steal that idea.
right.
You know.
Yeah.
Just try to stimulate yourself. However you can.
Well, I mean, even yesterday when we were watching Mortal Kombat, we got to that one scene. You were like, "Dude, that should have been the diorama." And it's like, "Fuck!" Like, had I taken a break from doing dioramas to watch the movie.
Yeah. But like, also, like, I assume you do 40K. I don't really do anything else. Some people I just have one hobby. Like when I was in 40K, that's all I did. But even if you're doing just one hobby or following one franchise, there's a different aspect to that one hobby to get inspiration. Like if you're into 40K, like stop doing the model and read a book, or like stop
terrain,
Stop building and start painting.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's all I suggest.
I don't paint miniatures. I don't ever see myself doing that, but I love to watch. I love to watch tutorials on painting because I pick up stuff. I'm like, well, fuck, I can do that with shitty hobby paint.
And also with your size, like miniatures are mini miniatures.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I think they're small, but if I was twice my size,
like, look at that. I got an extra knuckle
hands, on. I can't imagine doing what I'm doing at half the size of that.
Yeah, it's tough.
He said, "Why does Super 7 eat dirty buttholes all the time?" He said,
I'm going to see Matt. I'm going to see Matt this weekend. I'm pretty excited about that. I want to have an in-person discussion with Super 7.
He said, "Chris, why is Cactus Jack the best wrestler of all time?"
That's because anybody that could take that amount of damage and be that creative at the same time, we tie this right back into deathmatch wrestling. Terry Funk versus Cactus Jack in Japan in like 1992 was the benchmark for deathmatch wrestling.
And he said, to close out, anyways, thanks for your time and all the things you do. Be well, be safe. Love you guys. Matt Beansy H. So,
Beansy.
Real quick before we get out of here, because that's it. Next week is 300. It was pre-recorded, so then
we're off next week.
Yep. So then we'll come back and do the other questions from 300 for 301.
Yeah.
I'm down for another movie since we're off.
Yeah.
If you want.
Yeah. As long as my schedule works out next week, I'll talk to you about it. Also, real quick, we did have a little bit of an achievement unlocked recently. Yesterday, we reached 100,000 downloads of Nerd Rage Radio.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. Thank you to all you listeners. And
God damn,
every time,
bro.
every time.
You're still looking up there?
Every time.
Whew.
Every time.
This,
Creature,
can't train
I'm a
old dogs new
creature-
tricks, man.
You can't. I'm a creature of habit. Shout out to the Nerd Rage team, to Raul on Instagram, to Phil on Twitter in our notes, to Dante on Facebook, and to anybody else that works behind the scenes on a case-by-case basis. You guys, I appreciate you. And then also shout out to the entire Cool Table
Which is
Network.
every single one of you at this point.
Yeah, which is if you have a microphone in a computer, I'm sure you've got a podcast. As far as I'm concerned, you're part of the Cool Table too.
Even if you're not sitting at the cool table, you're like crowding around the cool table.
Yeah.
There's part of the conversation.
There's only so many seats.
Yeah.
You know,
but
just-
everyone can just hover.
Yeah,
around.
If you have a
Put your drink down.
Yeah.
if you have an iPhone 3 with a cracked screen, but it's still got a microphone, you
Yeah.
can record your podcast.
Just send me blue bubbles, man. That's all I ask. Have the common decency to send me blue bubbles. And with that,
Flap your labias.
Takes, D Tank.
tight dick player.